This bitch.
Record this bitch.
And here we go and live. And here we are once again at In Your Head Wrestling Radio. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, and the most honest man in all of podcasting, handsome Jackie Jones, along with my right-hand man, my audio soulmate, and the enforcer of the Headyverse.
1 inch biceps, the power goat. I am the boss, baby. I am the man who tells you what to do.
Hot damn, he's got old school in your head shirt on again. He's kicking it old school, retro. He's got the throwbacks. He's like old school John Cena.
Exactly. You can't
cool logo.
see
I remember that
me.
one. Boom. How many in your head shirts you got?
I probably got the yellow one in there, and I got the hoodie. I've got the signed ones, of course, but you can't wear those.
You could, but I would. Yeah. I should play one at some point. It would be cool.
That'd be, I probably could hang one up, and so.
But then I'd be afraid it would fall or something would get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Need it framed. Probably a lot of, a lot of the people probably no longer with us anymore.
Well, I know the Rock's dad, Rocky Johnson. He signed one of my shirts, and he's passed on. So
Harley Race, he was at him. I don't know.
Harley Race, yeah,
he did.
It's a shame, but yeah, there's a lot of people who's no longer.
Was that one of the first ones?
Yeah. I kicked myself, but I stayed behind when you went and got Bobby Heenan. I stayed in the room, so I should have went.
You did, really?
Yeah, I think I was just tired at that point, and you and Troy went out and you got it, and I stayed in the room like a dummy.
Man, I was like, when Nikolai was signing, he just got up and went, "I've got to shit," and walked away. So I don't know. He might not have signed mine because I remember he went to take a shit.
Though, I might have got Bobby's signature at one point, though, after that. I think I did, because I'm thinking of the first one in 2006 that we went to.
He was at multiple ones?
Yeah, he was at another one. I think he was in Atlanta. And I think I might have got his signature then. I think. I could be wrong, though.
Cool, though. Just to think that came up the other day was the anniversary of having Bobby the Brain Heenan on. It is pretty wild to think of all the guests we've had on the show.
I've been
talked to Lexar. So we started strong and then
just way down.
Fizzled out, yeah.
I've been accused of boozing it up before the show already. Vince Rudo says, "Look how red my face is."
You do look like you're on something, maybe medicated.
Medicated with what? All I've had today was a multivitamin. I did have a protein shake.
You ever butt chug the protein or butt chug the vitamins?
No. Would you be scared, though, if I said, yeah?
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if you've taken some protein injections up the wazoo.
Oh, Lord. But
I couldn't even say that one with a straight face without cracking up at the brilliant humor. Not the stupid of the.
I mean, I might have had a lot of sodium because I had chicken tacos that I make myself, and there probably is a lot of sodium in that. So I would say from how they're prepared.
Sounds good, boy. Yeah.
See, Glogo 13, he's keeping an eye on me. He knows he's on my PlayStation friends list. He says Insher was playing Demon Souls. No booze. That's true. I was.
I don't think that's proof that you're not drinking.
Well, I could be drinking and playing Demon Souls. So
yeah, it's not like you can't do both.
Jujubee says, looks like too much sun. So, been out in the sun. Not really. I haven't. I barely leave this room.
I was out in the sun, but it's not really sunny. It's still pretty wintry out. All right, so there was a big week of wrestling intro. This was AEW Dynamite, their big show, then the lead into Revolution. And then Revolution itself. A lot of stuff going on.
Very fun show. So I enjoyed myself.
Dynamite. It opened with the thing everyone was thinking about, talking about, and most people predicted it was going to be the shits because it's got Shaq in it. He's never wrestled before.
Yeah.
And two very green women. I'm going to say I thoroughly enjoyed this match.
I enjoyed it. I thought Shaq, he did very well. I mean, you can tell he's not a trained wrestler, but I think it went pretty well.
As like a non-wrestling guy, I thought it was very entertaining. I don't expect them to be out there being Dean Malenko, but you could tell he was having fun. He enjoyed himself. He gave a hell of a power bomb.
Yeah.
He took bumps, went through a table. You could tell he's a giant guy and he's an older guy, athlete, so his knees are in bad shape and stuff like that. But my expectations were pretty low. And they far exceeded that. And the two women who are very, very, very green, and you could tell were also very good, though.
I thought the match was put together very well, to hide any shortcomings that the wrestlers may have. And I thought it was done very well. Cody sold his ass off for him, and I was happy with it. I'm not going to cry like Kevin Smith did, but I was happy with the match.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I can't really think of any wrestling matches I'm bawling eyes out about.
I've never cried at a wrestling match.
Yeah, especially like Shaq. You're like, it's like, wow, that's fun. But I mean, Shaq's living his dream. I don't know what.
Could it be just like Kevin was just happy because he's an older guy and he's a big Shaq fan, maybe?
Probably just stoned or pretending to be stoned. The thing is with him, wasn't that long ago he smoked weed for the first time, but he had built his career as a pothead. But he really wasn't, and then he became a pothead like maybe 10 years ago. It was like much later in life.
Yeah.
And I just thought that, like, how lame is that though? Like, to pretend to be a pothead. It's kind of lame anyway to build your existence around being a pothead, but to be a fake pothead especially.
Do you like, some people claim that I could like kind of pass off as a pothead sometimes?
Oh yeah, I used to always get it myself. It's weird because at the time I never did anything, but then when I started to do edibles, no one ever accused me anymore. But yeah, I could see that you do come off.
Yeah, kind of because I have a low key kind of personality most of the time.
Maybe like you're on Ritalin or something.
I'm not on anything though. I mean, not a thing.
Yeah, I saw you at the pay-per-view too, out in the crowd.
Yeah. See, whenever you were trying to get me to go to Chicago, I was like, nah, I think I'll just go myself when this whole COVID thing is really taken over. And I'll be sitting right beside DDP.
Yeah, he's the Yoda will save you. Yoga will save you.
Yoda will save me, and Yoga will save me.
He's against even using the term yoga now. Like,
yeah. What is this? It's like he's trying to like just bastardize the whole yoga planet.
And it's like, weird because I think this point in time, I don't think yoga's really like something people. It used to be when he started YRG. It was like something that like guys probably wouldn't do. But I think this point in time, it's kind of like a mainstream thing. A lot of people do yoga. So I don't think so. It's a weird position to take now.
Yeah, he should just keep saying that it's yoga. I mean,
I don't think it's smart to keep rebranding it once people know what it is.
No.
Because people really know DDP Yoga now. Now it's like I don't know what he calls it.
Do you think it's because he can release another video and not feel like he's robbing people because he's changed the title of it or something?
Probably. Now he can just repeat all stuff. But now it used to be, I'd said, everything I could say is YRG. Now I just repeat it as DDP Yoga. Now it's like, now what do I do? Now I'm going to call it DDPY.
DDPY.
He is a master of that, though, to just get the plugs in. I'm surprised he's not plugging it even when he's just on camera, like in the crowd.
Well, if you're thinking about taking DDP Yoga, they're not a sponsor. I'm going to wreck it for him right now. Just count your calories. Comes down to that. You lose weight.
I didn't do DDP Yoga.
Yeah, so you really don't need it. I mean,
well, it will help.
You just have to have some willpower.
Mobility.
Yeah, get yourself up, move.
I mean, if you do DDP Yoga, you can like put your leg up in the air, like a standing split.
I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I want to do that, really. I mean,
I want to stand here with my crotch just like wide open on the show.
I've seen DDP do it, and
I've seen him do it in person.
Yeah, it was at one of the fan fests. I think I've seen him do it, and I was just, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. I've seen him on video.
I also saw him at a horror convention do it too, and honestly, it just comes off kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, really. Like, it is impressive if you think about it, but your initial reaction is, that's kind of creepy. Like,
yeah, it's one thing if you see a picture, but when you see a grown man, I don't say elderly, but an older dude, like in a hallway with people and fans, and he's just sticking his leg up in the air, and he's like, look at my taint. It's weird. I mean, he's clothed. He had jeans on and stuff. But it's DDPY.
Vic Schiavone says he doesn't see us as potheads, either one of us passing ourselves off as that. So, okay. Thank you, Vic. I mean, I don't take pride in people telling me this, but I have had people tell me this before.
Yeah, like, I can believe it.
Yeah, I've had people tell me, "Oh, you're high." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm really not." And they're like, "Whatever."
If we tested your blood right now, is that why you started shaving the head so people couldn't test your hair?
Well, the hair test, I believe, is more expensive than just like testing like urine or.
I think you can go back further.
Yeah, with the hair you can go back further, but couldn't you take some of my eyebrow hair?
No, Incher, I see what's going on.
Can't you take my eyebrow hair? Would that work?
Probably fake.
My eyebrows are fake?
Yeah, they drawn on.
I'm not going to comment on that.
I think I know your secret now. Juju P says she has tight hamstrings.
Tight hamstrings.
That's why you need to stretch.
Your
muscles get tight, and then if your muscles are tight, then they can rip.
You could do the DDP yoga. Maybe she could put her head, like her foot over her head.
Now we're talking.
That would be more pleasant than DDP doing it.
I got a late birthday present actually from Juju B. This was late last week.
Oh yeah, what'd you get?
Very awesome. It was a Love After Lockup coloring book.
A coloring book.
Yeah,
like. That's pretty unique gift.
Yeah, I love it. It's pretty awesome. Because that's people. I think people misuse the term guilty pleasure. They'll just say anything's a guilty pleasure, but a guilty pleasure means you're guilty to tell people. Like, I don't want to tell people I like this because I feel guilty because I know it. I shouldn't like it. I'm using the term accurately when I talk about Love After Lockup, because I'm not guilty about liking professional wrestling or Dungeons and Dragons or Basket Case or The Stuff or any kind of movies. I'll tell people being in chess club, all that stuff is totally fine by me. But I do feel ashamed to tell people that I watch Love After Lockup.
Well, what illustrations was in this coloring book? Like, was
a lot of things from the show, a lot of famous scenes from the show. Like when this one woman with kind of, I don't want to make fun of her, but she's got, she's an older woman and she gets this young dude out of prison.
Yeah.
And the first time they meet, she's driving him back to home, and she's like, "So you want a steak or a blowjob first?" And so that's one of the colorings you could color them in the car, and she's like, "Steak or BJ?" And then he's got thought bubbles thinking of a steak or her mouth. He in the show he picked the steak.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I was in prison, that would a steak would definitely be on my mind.
Yeah, you could get a blowjob in prison.
Yeah, but like just because you're eating prison food and just, I don't imagine that's very good stuff. They don't serve them like a good steak.
They have shown like, no, I'm gonna get into this, but if you feed the prisoners, I'm not saying like great, like 3-course dinners, but if you feed them like relatively well, they're a lot less, they're a lot more docile and less likely to have altercations.
I've heard that in my line of work as well. So
makes sense.
It does make sense. I get grouchy when I get hungry.
Yeah.
So.
You gotta remember these people get out. So you don't want them to come out worse.
Them
to come out as, even harder criminals or monsters.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about prison. We're here to talk about wrestling.
Do you think you'd be all right doing time, or do you think, what do you think? Would you crack or?
Well, recently, because I buzzed the head, they were saying I looked like I was from the show Oz.
Oh, yeah?
Especially when I wear like sunglasses.
Sunglasses? Oh, like a prison guard, a CO?
No, they actually said I looked like the guys from the white supremacist group in Oz.
But they don't wear glasses, do they?
No.
I would consider that being like contraband, probably.
Yeah. I had this on because it's cold. It's not. It was really nice today. It was 61. I was like, hot damn! It's like a tropical paradise. But then the sun went down and got cold again.
Yeah, that tends to happen around this time of year.
Doctor this morning, early doctor appointment.
Yeah.
The surgery did not work, the last one I had. So I have to have a more evasive surgery.
Oh, no.
They're going to go in with little hooks and pull out my veins in my leg.
I don't even like thinking about that.
No, it doesn't sound very good, pleasant.
Ew. They put you out, don't they, for that?
Well, they gave me the option.
Oh, come on.
I didn't quite understand the option. They were like, we can do this in office, where you just come into the office, not into the hospital part. And we'll do it, in this room. The lighting is worse, and we don't have all the tools, and we'll just give you topical, like not anesthesia. They'll give you like Novocaine shots, so it'll hurt. Or we can do it in the hospital under anesthesia with better lighting and tools. I'm thinking, so the options are do it more painfully, with worse lighting and not the tools you need. So it's not going to be as proper and more chances of it not succeeding and things going wrong. Or we could do it in the hospital where it won't hurt, and we'll have proper lighting and all the tools. So I was thinking, why do they even ask me which?
Seems like a no-brainer. Yeah.
And then she's like, and I also have to let you know, we can also do this other procedure. And she even said I don't recommend it because it doesn't have a great success rate, and there's also, you can get blood clots, these things, but we can inject this glue into like the veins, and it doesn't. I'm like, well, why would I want this if it's not a great chance of working, and there's like all these side effects? Where this one, there's not. I mean, there can be, but it's very unlikely. So it just seemed very stupid. But I guess they have to let you choose the worst options if you really want them.
You went with the hospital, right?
Yeah. So
okay. I was scared you're going to say, no, I'm going with
just rip them out right here.
No, the guy behind the dumpster said he could do it. Yeah, just we'll go out there and he'll get it done. He said I won't feel a thing.
Yeah, it was very just odd. I was like, I don't understand why you're even asking me this.
I guess did they say like, the hospital would be more expensive? I'm sure it would be.
Well, the thing is, my insurance will probably I have to wait for the insurance to come through, but they said, I think I don't know if the insurance covers it, I'm obviously going to get,
I would not want to be up for that. No. like being awake. No,
The
that sounds
last
terrible.
surgery was in office, the one they did that didn't work. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm
And
sorry. You're going to have to go through that.
the surgeon wore his mask under his nose.
Yeah, you would think they would know better. I see a lot of people in Walmart doing that. Just like the mask is right here.
In the hospital, though.
The hospital, definitely.
Surgery.
Yeah.
Even before COVID, you would do that.
Yeah, for sure. I know Dr. Now, he never wears the mask underneath his nose. He always has it.
Who's that?
Proper. Dr. Nowzarian from 600 Pound Life on TLC network. I've been watching it on demand every now and then.
My mom watches that. I might have seen like bits of it. He's like a short dude. He's kind of got a weird accent.
It is a fascinating show. Once you start, you just can't stop, and you got to check them all out. And
that's how I started watching that other show. Was like it wasn't something that interested me, but my mom watches it, and especially now during COVID, like I'm not going places, so besides my walks and stuff, every once in a while, at home a lot more often, and so like you're just sitting there and you start watching it, and something I wouldn't think I'd get interested in, I get interested in.
Juju B says they have to tell you benefits, risk, and alternatives.
Right. Well, this one had the least amount of risks, the best success rate. So I didn't quite,
I think that one's a no-brainer, yeah. But Jack, I'm sorry you got to go through that once again, but hopefully they'll get it all taken care of. I would say this time they got it.
Yeah, because I actually pulled the
pretty
veins out. So.
Yeah. Ew, God. Ugh. I don't even like thinking about that.
Sound like Hellraiser with the little hooks. They do little cuts and they pull them out.
There will be great suffering. Now we'll put you to sleep, and we'll see you when you get up.
Well, they said I won't be completely asleep. I'll be like dazed.
No, isn't it like the line from that? Oh, it's like, oh, don't cry. It's a waste of good suffering.
Yeah, tears, I think.
Or something like that. I can't remember how it went. But, Jack, we are here to talk about professional wrestling. I didn't watch Raw yesterday. I'm sure you didn't.
Fuck that shit.
We watched the pay-per-view. I know both of us have watched the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because I was there in person.
Right.
With DDP. I may have looked a little bit heavier. Or maybe a little bit like the guy who played Richard Jewell. But nonetheless, I did see it. And I heard the commentary through a special speaker.
Right. Well, they say the camera adds, 10 pounds.
That's true. Yeah. Even though I'm on camera right now.
But we use special cameras here.
Yeah.
The heady cameras.
I shaved. I was a little bit bearded in that presentation. So, but
like this shirt. It's like a Mega Man style shirt.
Oh yeah, Clean Man, Bullet Man.
It's a Kenny Omega Japanese. Pretty cool. I like it.
I do want to talk about the good things about the pay-per-view before we get into some of the bad, because I know we'll be going into that as much as we went into Nia Jax hurting her butthole. And that is, I thought we seen one of the best cinematic matches ever.
I agree. And people know I'm not a big fan of these in general.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this one might be my favorite one.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's definitely my favorite as far as, because it was just a match, and this was the match between Darby Allin Sting versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks.
I have to put the guy over because I've not been a big fan of his. When Cage is wrestling Darby Allin, I'm a fan. I see people on Facebook who are like, "Oh, how dare they put a feud of Brian Cage and Darby Allin?" I completely disagree. This is the kind of guy he should wrestle because he looks awesome when he's wrestling Darby Allin. He had one of the best, my favorite spot, maybe the whole show. He's got him up for the vertical suplex like Davey Boy Smith, and he walks up a flight of stairs with him. That's pretty friggin' sweet.
I know Darby's probably, I would say he's 125, maybe less. What
I
do
think
you
he's like 150 or 160. But, he's
150?
a smaller guy.
He is a small dude, but that takes some tremendous strength to do that. And
Still a grown human being.
Oh yeah. I mean, I when I was working at the drunk tank, I had to I kind of cradled a guy underneath his arms and drug him because he couldn't walk, and I drug him to the elevator and then into the unit where we kept him and everything. And I was so fucking worn out afterwards, and it's not like I was holding him over my head, so it was just like I really had to sit down. I was like. But
that when they grabbed him and they were swinging him back and forth and threw him through the glass, that was pretty.
Oh, that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
I think the look of the whole building is it's cool.
A lot of the lighting. Yeah. The lighting was very well done.
I'm not a fan of score in a match, like the music. But that's just what a problem I have with the cinematic idea in the first place. The idea of live commentary during it is kind of odd.
Yeah, it was a little funky.
I think if it didn't have any, it might be even more strange. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do in that is, because it's weird if the whole show has commentary, then all of a sudden this one match, they all stop talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I liked when Sting got backed up into all those bookshelves, those file cabinets, and he grabbed one and kind of slung it out into I think it was Ricky Stark's knee, or it might have been Brian Cage. I can't remember who it was, but I thought that was pretty creative, and the whole setting them up in between the big. What is it? Just the from one floor to another. It was just like an opening. And they had a whole thing set up, and he did a Darby jump from
it was almost like an elbow drop.
The floor up. Yeah, it did an elbow drop onto
and then you don't even know where they went. Did they fall multiple flights down, which I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I loved
pretty good.
And I thought it's because some people I know really they really fixate on the age of Sting. And the thing is, it's wrestling.
Yeah.
So he's an older guy. He's 60. He's like 60. And if this was real, sure, a 60-year-old guy, would get beat up. But it's wrestling. That's that is one of the beauties of wrestling. You can do what you want with it. And they treat Sting like he's a superhero. It's similar to Undertaker. The Undertaker was always treated as this supernatural guy, and you went with it.
Yeah.
I'm watching, I know he's not a zombie. But within the realm of the show you're watching, it worked. And same thing with Sting. He's more power. He's if you're playing a game or whatever, he's a higher level. He's this powerful guy.
Yeah.
And it's totally where he's got the bat and stuff. So it all works for me.
I mean,
it's a lot better than an older guy just looking like shit and get his ass beat.
Yeah. I mean, judging from this match, he looked good. I mean, I know it was all controlled and everything, but I mean, he looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, he moved well. There was never a point oh, wow, he looks. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of guys, active guys that are 15 or 20 years younger that Matt Hardy's a guy. I think he looks, I feel more bad watching him because I could tell he's in pain. Sting moves around really well.
Yeah.
And I don't think the cover up hinders him either, because it just goes with his, him wearing the shirt and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So definitely a big fan of that. I thought that was best cinematic match we've seen thus far, hands down.
I really liked the opening tag match too. Young Bucks versus the Inner Circle, Jericho and MJF.
Oh yeah, that was good stuff.
I was kind of surprised they opened the show with that.
Yeah, you would think that would be a later match, but they did. They started the show with that one.
I was surprised. I thought the Dark Show match was good too. The women's tag match.
Okay, I missed that one.
Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Maki Ito, which a lot of people are they're very split on. Some hate her. I actually find her very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
She's a weird Japanese girl. And we'll get to the other Japanese girl because I'm the complete opposite on her. I do not find her entertaining in the least. But
Yeah.
the Maki Ito, she's weird, but she has charisma and personality. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Britt Baker, I'm a big fan of. And Thunder Rosa, I think, is one of the better all-around wrestlers and women wrestlers in AEW.
Vic Schiavone says people in their 60s aren't dead. I'm living
Exactly.
proof of that.
Exactly.
So,
and it's wrestling. I mean, as long as like you're not watching it and can tell, like there's
kind of going back to the Sting thing on that,
yeah.
But
Or if that's why I don't have an issue with smaller guys. If what they're doing looks cool, like when Darby Allin does moves, you could tell he's really putting his all into it, so you could kind of believe it would hurt somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen other people who don't, and it's less believable. Even guys that are bigger than him.
Yeah.
It really depends on the guy. And also, like I said, it's wrestling, so I'm not that worried about it. Some people work and some people don't.
Yeah. For sure.
The casino tag battle royal, it was like a typical battle royal for a while, but I thought like the last 5 minutes was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it took a while to pick up on that one.
Yeah. It was like a battle royal, I always kind of feel like it's kind of fun, and it's also just kind of there. This is how they are.
Mm-hmm.
But the last few minutes of it I thought were really good. So I was fine. It was fine. But I thought the match that really started to take the show down was Shida and Ryo Mizunami.
Yeah.
That match was not good.
Well, I like Shida, but the other girl, I don't know why they brought her in.
Me neither. My brother, who's big on Japanese wrestling, he watched the tournament on YouTube, and he said almost all of them were really bad. The Japanese
Really
had in there, especially her. He didn't like it. I don't.
Are they not going through New Japan? Does New Japan have a women's division?
I don't know enough about it. So.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they're going through another division for the women from Japan.
I can't imagine that you would there because I've always heard that Japanese women's wrestling is so great. I can't imagine that people watch her and think she's like really great.
Yeah, and she beat Aja Kong to get to the U.S. portion of it.
And I know Aja Kong's old, but I would rather seen her because I remember having fun watching her on one of the early AEW shows. Like she's not very mobile anymore, but it was fun just seeing her like really stiffing the shit out of people. This was just, I don't get the mime stuff where she starts pulling on an imaginary rope.
Yeah, and even the announcers always kind of feel awkward whenever she starts doing. They're like, "Oh, she's out there having fun." I don't know if that's the right thing to be doing, but yeah, I don't get that either.
And the chops, that was just horrible.
And even Sheeta kind of like was smiling on some of the things. I was like, "Why is she smiling? I don't understand this."
And the match seemed to go on forever. And they did like a bazillion, like just shoot, like looked like they were totally blown. Well, the Mizunami looked totally blown up, and then they just kept doing like spots, like just pin her already. Like it's not like she's some giant person that needs to be like totally destroyed to pin.
Maybe the company where she's from wanted her to look strong, I guess. But
yeah, this was bad. I don't think there's any. I heard Meltzer try to defend it, but I don't. This was just bad, I think.
Yeah. Lexar in the chat room, he's saying Boneyard match over Sting and Darby Allin versus Team Taz. I don't agree.
Not for me either.
I hated it. I mean, I wasn't big on the Boneyard match. I know people like the part where he's like standing up behind AJ and all that, and it didn't really do much for me.
I didn't like it either. I like this a lot better.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I thought this was very well done. It was well thought out,
The Miro and Kip Sabian versus Best Friends match, I think would have been totally fine for Dynamite. because it was kind of like the way it should be. I think they put Miro over like strong, but as the pay-per-view kind of like the blow off of the feud, I didn't think it was that great. It's like a fine match for Dynamite, but it's not a pay-per-view worthy match, I didn't think.
Well, Miro was like trying to get Charles back. He was on some of the Dynamites.
I'm totally on. The Miro character is growing on me because I find him very entertaining. Now, I would like him just this ass-kicking guy, but I kind of like the idea that he's this real goof who's very dangerous. So he's a really goofy guy, but he's very dangerous. So if you get him mad, he's going to tear you apart. That's kind of growing on me.
Well, they're kind of teasing that maybe that Kip Sabian, there might be some bad feelings there because like he knocked Penelope off of the apron, and they had a whole spot there, so they may not be together much longer. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or something.
I thought this was good. It wasn't like a standout match or anything. I do think Orange Cassidy's a guy they're really missing out on. They did so much to get him to the next level. They built him up. They put him over Jericho, in their whole feud.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up has been him really losing like all his other feuds. And I think they really killed his momentum.
Yeah, they should keep him strong, since people
like he's not a job guy or nothing, but I think they really hurt the momentum of the character. I think the problem is they keep getting new guys, and then like I like AEW, but it's almost like they have certain guys they start pushing, then they get these other guys, almost like their new toy, and it's like you got to keep pushing, and there's almost too many guys to push.
And I got to be honest, I just don't care about the new toy that they got.
There's two of them. The one, I had no idea who he was, who was in the ladder match.
Oh, Ethan Page. Don't talk bad about Ethan Page.
I'm gonna say it's totally fine. He might be great. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this isn't the right way to bring him in. You shouldn't tease that he's a surprise. And then he comes out and they just assume you know who he is. I had never heard of the guy.
He's an Impact guy. And he's a member of the North.
When you debut a guy that a lot of people, I think there's a problem. They just assume everyone knows everything. I don't follow Impact. Not everyone follows Impact. Not everyone follows Japan. So when you bring in a new guy, you have to explain who he is.
Yeah.
And I think JR really played the audience here. Like he played a member of the audience because he was like, why should we, that's Ethan Page. Why is he important to Excalibur? Because Excalibur's job here is to get him over to us for people who don't know him like me. Some people know him like you.
I wasn't paying attention to that. Did Excalibur explain who he was?
Not a great job, no.
Yeah, so they could have done better on that. I agree with you that not a lot of people are aware of the Ethan Page, but
and I'm not saying he's a bad pickup or anything. I just think when you debut a guy like that, you can't do it really as a surprise where he just comes out and it's almost like the crowd's supposed to be, oh God, because I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of like when Aleister Black, he made his debut on WWE.
Yeah, WWE. Yeah, because you can't assume everyone follows NXT either.
Well, this was like the UK pay-per-view, and Michael Cole was just selling it like freaking Hulk Hogan just walked in. He was like, "Oh my God, he's here, Aleister Black." I'm like, who? I don't know Alex.
And they worked with Impact, so get a minute video package, put it together, edit together, show, hey, this is why you care about this guy. But you don't have to spend like an hour. It could be 30 seconds a minute. There's a lot of things like that to me. Guys will be on Dynamite who only wrestled on Dark, and I don't watch Dark, but they'll be like expect who they are, and I've never seen them.
Yeah.
They own Dark as their company. You could take highlights and show it. Say, this is guy on Dark. Now he's here.
I'm just wondering right now, like if Impact has something against like AEW showing their footage, because I don't think we seen any Impact footage on AEW.
They showed some of Sting, but not a lot. No.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have no idea their deal, but you would think Impact be like, hell yeah, show our stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
we're only betting if it in Impact.
Yeah, really.
You're like,
I
oh,
would say.
this looks cool. I should watch Impact.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But before we get to that, it was a Hangman Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. I don't like the Big Money gimmick at all. I don't think it
Yeah.
fits Matt Hardy. I don't think it's entertaining. I think it's cheesy and it's kind of dumb. And
I think he's trying to portray characters that he was trained by. I think is what he's trying to do.
I think it's just odd that you had this established guy and then he keeps changing his gimmick like while he's on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they're like they do one thing and then they get cold feet on like the broken Matt Hardy and then they change it to something else. And
Like, how can you do that right on the same show when you're watching it?
yeah.
Comes off just odd. Like all of a sudden now he's this other guy. And I think if you're going to be the big money guy where he's like this weird agent, he can't be like an active wrestler. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Galgo 13 saying Ethan Page trash Impact after his contract was up a few months ago.
Oh, really?
So I wasn't aware of that. So maybe he is an exclusive AEW talent. So,
yeah. I think both guys really tried hard. I actually like both guys. It's kind of sometimes it's kind of say you could just tell Matt Hardy's hurting. He's probably better used in gimmick matches or tag matches. A big singles match, I don't know if has the legs anymore to really pull it off. He tried hard, you know. And I think it was probably too long for a singles match with Matt Hardy today. But so they had the ladder match. I really enjoyed this. The face of the Revolution.
Oh yeah.
I think everyone in the match. Scorpio Sky, Cody Rhodes, Penta, El Zero, Miedo, which is a too long name. Lance Archer, Max Caster, and I didn't know Ethan Page, but he looked pretty cool.
Mike B says, I think they figured that Page is well known to fans who are really active on social media. He has built his own brand across multiple platforms, including Twitch.
Yeah, but you can't assume that.
Yeah.
If you want to appeal to more than the like just the super hardcore fans, you can. I mean, I've been doing podcasts for 15 years, and I don't know this guy. You can't assume everyone watching the show is because we're going to get to another part. You can't just assume everyone knows him.
Yeah.
And what does it hurt to explain who he is, even if you do know
him? Even if, like, when he walked out, then play like a video package or something. Yeah. Or
I've been told,
like
and like I said,
quick.
It doesn't have to be 10 minutes. It could be a minute.
Because, like, he was one of the first participants, wasn't he? Yeah. Like, they started it out with.
Yeah, they could have said, "Oh wow, Ethan Page is here," then cut to a video package of just explaining him a little bit.
I was happy to see him when I saw him, but I totally understand what you're saying.
I'm not against him being there at all. I just, you just need to explain him. That's all. I really liked seeing Jake the Snake do the short arm clothesline.
Yeah,
he looked like poor Jake looked like he was dead after, but I did enjoy it.
I felt bad for him, and then I'm like, but wait a minute, he could just be working me right now, like because it felt real, and it might have been real,
right?
Or it could have been him working. So who knows?
I got a kick of watching him outside too, like with the ref. He was kind of like sneaking around I don't know. He seems like he's enjoying himself, which makes me happy.
I seen him like kind of reach up, like, and the ref kind of like grabbed at it. He's like,
it's really weird to me because I hear people all the time saying that they don't use the legends well in AEW, and I feel the opposite. I feel like they really use all the legends well. The guys who are wrestling and like the managers, and they all seem to have a good time.
If they don't feel that AEW treats the legends well, how do they feel WWE treats the legends?
I don't know. When they're just like trash, they always just treat them as total trash.
I mean, they're treated with zero respect on WWE television. I mean, like Ric Flair, he's having babies with Lacey, and then the thing just gets thrown out. His own
daughter,
and it's like he's always crying in every single segment he does, or I mean, that's just how they treat them. I mean, or they're just made into a backstage personality, and like they come out and you're like, that's Fit Finley. Everybody knows who Fit Finley is, but he's a fucking nobody on WWE. When he comes out, he's just the guy who breaks up fights now. I mean, how can you do that to
why would
Fit
that hurt
Finley?
anything to be like, oh shit, Fit Finley's out here breaking
Fit's here to break up the fight.
Yeah.
You know they're really going at it now or something. I don't know, but he's just a nobody on the show.
It's weird because they've always been like that with those guys. Because like when IRS was one of those guys, and and I think Ricky Steamboat for a while, and it's like everyone watching this who's watched it for years knows these guys, but now they're just some random dude you don't know.
I like that they're using Adam Pierce now, but even I knew who he was before. I know he's not a legend,
right?
And like a lot of people wouldn't know who he is, but I'm glad he's actually being used on the show, but it would make me mad whenever he would come in and just break up a fight. It's like they're just totally wasting.
Makes you wonder why they never gave this guy a shot when he was when he was in his prime.
Yeah, really, because
they could have got something out of him.
He's an excellent promo, and I always liked him in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I honestly he is kind of a WWE style guy because he didn't do like crazy. No. I mean, now they do crazy moves, but back in the day he wasn't a guy really doing crazy moves. He was kind of like a classic wrestler,
basically. Yeah,
and not a giant guy, but like a good size guy. And I think he was a guy that you could really fit into different characters. Like you could have really played any kind of role.
But even his role now, he kind of cowers, like he's scared of Roman Reigns, which, I mean, Roman Reigns is a big man, but still, he's supposed to be competitive as a wrestler, but he's not a wrestler. He's just like some GM helper or something.
Aren't they both heels? I don't watch it, so it's confusing to me. Aren't they both bad guys, but they're fighting each other?
Adam Pierce is just like a GM sort of figure right now, and like at times he's bad, but at times he's good because he was helping out Kevin Owens. So
yeah, I don't like. I haven't watched it, so I can't comment too much. But I don't like the idea of the general manager like helping out the heroes. It comes off mean. I'm really tired of the general manager in general, but.
I'll say this though, I think Vince McMahon's in bad shape because they got Shane out there portraying the general manager role, and I don't think they're ever going to let Shane do stuff like this consistently unless something was up with Vince.
I mean, when we seen him, it didn't look like
he looked rough. I don't know. I won't be surprised if something happens, and I know that's kind of a bad thing to say.
It will be weird. I know, it'll be really strange. Who knows what will happen in wrestling? If Triple H takes over, Triple H and Stephanie and Shane, or do they just sell the whole company?
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Because they got so much for the network, they'd probably get like billions for the company.
But even if Vince McMahon's on his deathbed, I know something that just made him hard as a rock was the ending to this pay-per-view.
I felt really bad because I actually really liked the match.
Yeah, the match was good. I mean, it did create a lot of excitement for the explosions and everything.
Yeah, it was really fun. And these guys are really working hard. A lot of damage.
I could tell
some people were complaining on our group because there weren't lacerations that ripped their skin apart on their back. I'm like, I don't need to see that. We saw blood, and I don't think you can do a barbed wire match without blood, but I don't need to see people have permanent damage in their.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the wrestlers should put themselves through that, but on the other hand, I do kind of agree with the people on the board because we've seen real barbed wire, and when we see gimmick barbed wire, it's pretty obvious. I mean, I believe the boards
like most of the wrestling matches I've seen with barbed wire.
Yeah,
except for weird promotions that are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Terry Funk and Sabu, that barbed wire was not gimmick. But the board, I believe the board was real. The boards, I think
a lot of it's not necessarily fake. It's they clip the barbs, so they're not. That's the point.
They're not going to do what they're supposed to do. but I believe the boards did have some real barbed wire on there, but the ropes, I don't believe the ropes weren't real. You could tell like the explosives were like that far away from the ropes whenever.
I'm totally fine with all that, to be honest.
Which, yeah, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But if you're gonna say, hey, this is an exploding barbed wire match, you kind of got to let it live up to what it's supposed to be.
And I actually really liked the exploding bat.
Yeah,
that was fun. And I even liked the explosions in the match itself. The match I really liked. I liked the build. I loved the idea of the finish of Eddie Kingston coming and draping himself over Moxley. But then as soon as they announced this match, I remember I used to be a tape traded guy and would watch these death matches. And I remember in one of the biggest Japanese exploding ring matches, and I think they tried it in ECW, it was a dud. And as soon as they mentioned this, I was like, oh, God, I hope it's not a dud like when they've done it before. And that's exactly what happened.
I felt so embarrassed for John Moxley and Eddie Kingston because they were doing this angle that was supposed to be like an emotional moment.
Yeah.
And
it would be in theory.
Eddie's coming to save him because he realized he values his friendship and he doesn't want to see anything happen to him. But he's out there and he's covering him and sparklers go off. Essentially.
It's so bad because it really ruins the whole, it's hard.
Oh, it ruined it.
I really enjoy up to them, but how can you can't really like say this is an epic match now because you have
no.
I don't even know what you would do. Like do you just get up and not sell it? But I think I don't know what you do.
I think the thing they had to do was kill the cameras and end the show instantly. Cut to Tony Schiavone. That's all the time we got. Goodbye. Because there was no saving that. That was just horrendous. My feelings is I think something within the match happened and the electrical part that was supposed to set off the explosions just got messed up.
Yeah, I mean, you just that kind of stuff, can always happen with pyros.
Yeah.
The after the match, after it went off the air, Moxley did a promo where he was, I'm going to paraphrase. He was like something about, Kenny Omega might be the best wrestler, all this stuff, but he sucks at making bombs, which is pretty funny, I think. So I don't know what you do at that point. I can't really blame anybody, but it was embarrassing.
It was. I felt so bad for the participants because they're out there.
They're really trying hard and really.
Yeah, they were just out there with egg on their face, basically, because and it's not their fault. That wasn't what they're supposed. They don't handle the pyrotechnics or anything, and that was horrendous.
Yeah, it's too bad. I thought it was one of their weaker pay-per-views. I normally think they kill it, and but it wasn't that there wasn't a lot of good stuff on it. I don't think the whole show was good like it usually is, even before that. But once that happens, like especially the end of the show, it puts a bad taste on it.
Yeah. Ooh. And if it wasn't the main event, it could have ended the show better.
The very last thing.
You could have had Young Bucks taking on Jericho, and
that would have ended the show.
That would have been a good ending, better than that. But
the worst ending probably would have been the Mizunami match.
Oh God, yeah! Don't put that on the end. No. I don't see what they see in this girl.
The Sting,
huh?
Or if you would end it with Sting.
That was a strong match. Yeah, that was good stuff.
End with that kind of match, but
yeah.
They did in WrestleMania, I guess.
Yeah, WrestleMania was such crap.
I enjoyed this better than WrestleMania.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, yeah. The show was like I wasn't like just counting the hours. Just please be over with soon.
Yeah. So it's definitely a mixed bag. I'm not gonna say thumbs up, but I'm also gonna say I didn't hate it either. But it's probably thumbs down because of the end and everything. But I still enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm. Mighty Lexar says Kenny should make a better mobile phone game than making bombs. So he doesn't
Well, I
enjoy the
don't think Kenny
casino game.
Omega is actually developing the app.
Developing the game. Yeah. I don't. It is strange they're coming out with a casino game.
Yeah,
I
my
mean,
brother said it's terrible that it's got like no. He downloaded. If he downloaded and sent me a link, and then I went to do it, but this I saw it like hours later, and he's like, "Oh, don't bother. Like it's got no wrestling stuff in it. It's just like a straight up casino game."
why would they do that? Why not just? I mean, you're booking that you're going to have an actual wrestling video game that's going to come out eventually, but you're putting a bad taste in the fans' mouths already by releasing a game that has absolutely nothing to do with wrestling. It's just a casino game.
We did miss something. Is the big reveal? They built this up,
Yeah.
Hall of Fame level guy
Yeah.
on Impact. Also, by the way, I'm not changing my mind on Big Show so far. Could not care less about him.
I kind of like him. So I'm going to disagree with you on that.
That's fine. That's fine.
I kind of think he's just fun to have around, but he seems happy.
He does seem happy. I will give him that. He seems very happy, which, I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to say I hate him. I don't hate him there. I just don't care about him there.
Okay.
But it was very strange, his little build. Like, I know who's going to be there, but tune in. I get it, but still it was a little strange. But so when you say that, a Hall of Fame level guy, people start saying Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. And then it was heavily hinted there was to be Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle even was hitting at it on his Instagram. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I know. I'd like to see Kurt Angle there. I think he could have a couple matches with some of the guys there. You could use him as something. This works for me. And then it was
Christian Cage. And okay, I'm willing to give him a shot, but am I excited when I saw Christian come out? No, I wasn't excited. But at one point in Impact, when he first made his debut, I was like, okay, I'm kind of pumped up for Christian right now, and it kind of went nowhere.
I agree. I did not like his run in Impact.
Yeah, so hopefully
I've liked him at times in WWE.
Mm-hmm. But hopefully they can have like a good run with him in AEW.
I don't think he's a bad guy to bring in. I think he could possibly have some good matches with a lot of the young guys there.
This kind of goes back to what you're saying, though, about Orange Cassidy losing his push. Well,
right.
It's like they got too many people there in a way. Like now they got Christian.
Do you really need Christian? Nothing.
No, I don't think they do.
Is there really like because it's like do we need another guy here, another veteran to work with it? It's like no, I don't think we do.
No. I mean, I'll watch the stuff, and I hope it goes well for him. I really hope that he can break out and become like a bigger name in a sense. But I mean, as of right now, I'm not excited.
Yeah, it's kind of late in his career. I think. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll prove his run. I would hope that happens. But I also think you can't build Christian up and. I think it would be better if he just came out with no build and you're like, hey, Christian.
Yeah, that it would have been a shock. And like billing him as he can out wrestle anybody. I've never.
People got mad at me on Facebook over this, but first of all, apparently, because they were saying he can outwork everybody. And I was like, first of all, I don't even like that terminology on the wrestling. It's almost like if you're watching Breaking Bad and they're like, this character's the best actor on the show. It's like, well, we know they're actors, but so you don't really want to say that a wrestler is the best worker on the show.
Yeah,
It makes it seem fake. And then people, they don't mean it that way. They mean he's a hard worker. And I'm like, don't be naive. They're meaning it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I've never in my life thought of Christian as the best. I don't think of him as a bad worker, but I've never thought of him as the best worker. Never.
No.
He's not. That's like a Ric Flair guy that you think is the best wrestler. Bret Hart
or Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, back in the 90s, someone like that. Not Christian. And then I was told this was all because Bruce Pritchard, when asked who the best worker was, he said Christian on his podcast. I'm like, this is what I'm going back to again. You can't assume everyone knows everything that's ever been said on Bruce Pritchard's podcast. I don't listen to it. And if I did listen to it, you'd have to listen to, unless he says this every show. Maybe he does. I don't think so. He once said that Christian is the best worker. For one thing, I mean, come on, he's the best worker, Christian. And what? Who cares if Bruce Pritchard said it to begin with? Like he's the soothsayer. Everything he says is gospel.
I don't put much stock in anything that Bruce Pritchard says. I think he's
going to bring a Terry Taylor and say he's the guy that really now he's going to embrace the Red Rooster.
Oh,
we're giving him one more shot to be the Red Rooster because Bruce Pritchard said he didn't embrace it.
Oh, so it's an inside joke, basically. Like Christian's even aware.
I guess it's like they mean, but I don't know. And then like even a shirt is outwork everybody, and I don't get it. Like even if they mean hard work, like I'm sure he works hard, but he's in a company that's known for the whole company is a roster of guys that work hard.
Yeah,
and guys that are good in-ring workers. Why is he? I would never say he's clearly better worker than Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and all these other guys. I mean, that's the whole point of the AEW.
Yeah, put him in a match with Kenny Omega and see who's like the better worker in that match. It's like, I'm sure Dave Meltzer would be like, Christian really out wrestled Kenny Omega in this match,
7 stars.
Not saying like Dave Meltzer's the end all to be all, but
if you're going to use that terminology, though, best worker, I mean, that's what you're going to go to.
And it's not like he's a blue collar dude who's like, if they're trying to portray it in the light, he's like the best worker,
He's not Otis.
But he's not Otis or anything. It's not like I like to work hard, It just seems strange.
It's too bad AEW wasn't around maybe 15 years ago for guys like Matt Hardy and Christian when they could still really go at top. Christian probably still can go, but still they wouldn't have been as exposed and stuff. And because throughout their career, they were always seen as the second banana of the group.
Yeah.
WWE always saw Edge as the guy and always saw Jeff Hardy as the guy. Now, if there would have been an alternative place for them to go and prove like, hey, I think I am, that would have been great. It's a little late for that, but
it is.
We'll see.
I would like to see Christian possibly get on the level that Jericho is right now, because I think
I'll give him a shot.
AEW have revitalized Chris Jericho's career.
I agree.
I mean, we were seeing him as a very stale figure in WWE. And so I would like to see Christian be brought up. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know if he has the talent, but if it happens, I'll be happy for him.
I think the big thing is just the overhyping of him. I wouldn't have, it automatically puts him on a bad position because you were hyping it up as like like an elite level guy. And then you got like, a cool guy.
Yeah.
So it was really unfair to him too, I think. It automatically starts him off in a bad foot, I think.
I think, though, being in AEW is going to work better for Christian, though, because he wasn't going to do anything in WWE.
Oh, no. He probably would have been like Matt Hardy in his last run. He probably would have just been a job guy, really.
Yeah, I think...
Go on, sir.
His biggest moment was the Royal Rumble when he came out with Edge and they kind of had their reunion. And I think it would have been all downhill from there. So as a career move, it was probably better to go there.
It was really weird last year in Chicago. I was there when Matt Hardy made his comeback after he was off for a little while, and he was super over. And it's like, oh, cool, Matt Hardy. And he immediately was in a match and lost in like 2 minutes to like some guy. I don't think it was Miz. It was somebody that wasn't like that, whatever. And I just thought like, man, like even his very first match back, he just like loses in 2 minutes.
Yeah, really.
After this giant pop. At least there is another place for those level guys to go if they think they can still.
I mean, maybe he really wants to prove something to people, and like it could turn out to be a good thing for Christians. So
I know they have 4. Vince Russo says Jack was defending the Christian sign in the group. Yeah, I'm exactly saying the exact same thing I said in the group. I said I don't dislike Christian, but I don't think you should have built it up. Exactly what I said earlier. You can think they way they brought him in, but I'm not against the idea of Christian being there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot, but I mean, I think you agree with me from the stance that they didn't really need Christian.
Yeah, no, I think we're in 100% agreement.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not against the guy at all, but I don't think it was needed on any level. I don't think they really need anybody at the moment, unless something comes up like they can get CM Punk or
bring
something like a no-brainer, like we can't pass this up.
Like
but I don't think they need to really actively be bringing in guys unless there's something like really special about them. The thing is, though, they are going to have 4 shows a week, so you do need a lot of people to.
That is true.
Not just bodies, but like some named people on all.
Is TNT going to be broadcasting any of the shows or TBS?
I think 2 of them are going to be on Turner and 2 of them are on YouTube. My gut is that's way too many shows. 4 shows a week for AEW.
Oh, well, I wonder what night it will be because they got Wednesday. So
I mean, there's going to be multiple shows.
Could it be Saturday because they moved their pay-per-view? They moved to Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't think there is any wrestling shows on Saturday.
Yeah, it might be Saturday night.
Is there anything Thursday?
There is something Thursday, isn't there? No, but that would be Wednesday, Thursday. That's like 2 shows back to back. I think Saturday would be a better night.
If you have 4 shows, well, yeah. If you mean 2 on, because when is Dark on?
Dark's on Tuesday.
So Tuesday's Dark, Impact, and soon to be NXT. Well, if you followed all these shows, it would be rough.
Yeah, like I don't think I'd even be able to record all those if I wanted to. I mean, NXT is on the network. I assume they're going to be on Peacock when they go to Peacock.
Right.
Or they're going to change that. I don't know. But I do want to kind of keep up with NXT because I'm pretty excited about LA Knight being on NXT.
Ooh.
Previously known as Eli Drake. I'm happy he is somewhere where I can actually see him. Because he was with NWA, and NWA, it's like I could watch it.
Well, apparently they're starting their own network for $4.99 a month.
NWA,
yeah,
$5. That ain't too bad.
I didn't watch it for free. So.
Yeah, I didn't watch it for free either. But I'm thinking like
you pay $5, you pay what, like 10 for Impact, and you don't watch it.
Yeah, it's like $8.70 something. But they actually gave me a few months for free because they had a glitch in their network and they want to make it up to the fans. But I still don't watch it. I need to start. I mean, it's just like I just can't. It's too much wrestling.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you just watch the WWE shows, that's like 7 hours, I think, live. Plus, if you watch 205 Live and NXT UK, it would be like 10 hours, and then it's gonna be about I assume like 8 hours of AEW a week, and then 2 hours of Impact.
It's like
throwing Ring of Honor. It's gonna be like 30 hours.
I want that Jimmy Jam chutzpah to be watching all of these shows, but I just can't. It's like, but Demon Souls is too good. I got to play that right now. I got to go do other things. I got to go.
It'd be one thing if it's 1 week, but the idea is it's weekly for
the rest of your
forever.
Life.
And then you add the pay-per-views. So that's another multiple hours a month for WWE. At least in AEW, they're only every 3 months. So it's too much. This is a growing thing, though. I think in all of entertainment is they're expecting so much devotion of time from the audience. WWE that's one thing that killed it for me, is just too much. I can't, and it's not a good product. And then to devote like 8 hours a week, it's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
The Marvel movies, so they had all the movies. I've actually watched all the movies up until this point. And some of them I really like, some of them, whatever, but I've watched them all. But then, so then they get the Disney Plus, and so they add this WandaVision, and they're going to add other shows. Like they've got 2 or 3 other shows coming. And the next, to follow the next movies, you've had to watch all of WandaVision, which I hated. I couldn't stand it, so I didn't finish it. But then to think, well, now I've got to watch 8 hours I think it's 8 hours of this series, and then this other, so like 3 series are coming up, and you have to follow them to actually follow the movies. It's too much for me. So I think I'm just done with the Marvel movies, because I don't want to have to watch all these shows to know the characters in the movies, and then they're all connected. It's too much for me.
Yeah,
I foresee the Star Wars universe being the same way, because they've got all these shows coming on. I really like Mandalorian. Maybe I'll like the other ones too, but like they just really expect you to, like, you've got to, if you like this, you have to not just watch a movie every couple of years. You've got to watch, 50 hours of programming.
Are they going to do the Obi-Wan one?
Yeah, Obi-Wan.
And I was kind of excited for that, because I thought
I am too. And Mandalorian was very good. So
yeah,
I think
I definitely want to check that out too. But like,
it's just the idea of so much product of the same thing.
I was kind of upset that the Darth Maul guy got himself in trouble. So, and they're not going to use him, because I was thinking like Darth Maul might have worked into some of the Obi-Wan show.
I'm pretty sure he still is.
But I don't think Disney wants anything to do with the actor who portrayed Darth Maul. So, which he didn't do the voice. It was another man who did the voice for Darth Maul. So they may, but that would be hard shoes to fill if they want to replace Darth Maul with somebody else, because that's pretty physical stuff. But not saying it can't be done.
Pretty old now.
Yeah, he is older. But I was kind of hoping he would come back, but he had some.
They have a Boba Fett show coming up. I'm excited about that, because I like them in Mandalorian.
I always liked Boba Fett from, just the little bit that we seen him in the movies.
Yeah, I thought Mandalorian was about Boba Fett, but he's kind of the guy, because it's not the original Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi, but it's Boba Fett from, I guess, the prequels, maybe. The actor
Jango Fett.
He's older and kind of fat. And they do cover up he wears stuff to cover up his belly. He's kind of reminds me like an older wrestler, but he's still pretty badass looking.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well, I'll say this though for WWE. Some of the stuff that they're presenting on Raw, I think they've put some good matches on, because I thought Steven from Toronto, he was putting it over the week before, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. And I thought that was a pretty good match. They really did go all out on Raw. So I will have to give Steven kudos for that. So yeah, he's coming on here, but I may have to repeat myself. But
they're unifying the AEW and Impact title. So I'm getting word here from
unifying the.
Yes.
Which title?
I don't know. Let me get this. See what's going on here.
Okay.
Steve, if anyone wants to zoom in, you guys can zoom in now.
Toronto Stevie.
Didn't that used to be a podcast? Who's zooming who, or who's slamming who?
Who's slamming who? Yeah.
Who's
I don't know who the host.
Record by Aretha Franklin.
They're unifying the AEW and Impact title, and by unifying, I mean this match will end in a non-finish. So I guess they're doing a match where it's Moose versus
Rich Swann.
Rich Swann to unify them. And then the winner of that fights Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's been a pretty weird belt, but I think a Moose versus Kenny Omega match sounds pretty cool. I think that would be cool. Rich Swann's a hell of a worker too, so I would be up for that as well. But I think Rich Swann would make sense for a storyline.
The domestic women beaters.
Well, Yes, they've had their history of stuff like that, but allegedly, I guess. Well, in one case it isn't, but the other one, I guess, it still is alleged. Well, let's just say alleged, just to cover our ass.
All right. Steven! Yeah!
Steven, I was giving you credit. I thought Sheamus and Drew McIntyre did have a good match. You said for me to watch out for that fella. And it felt like last week's Raw. I haven't watched this week's, but the week before, it seemed like they did put on a fairly solid show. It was pretty good all the way through. So,
Oh, yeah.
and SmackDown's
Those
been
interest marking out
better.
for Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton on Raw.
No, that part I wasn't too huge before.
That
but
sucked.
yeah, was that on this week?
Randy got visited by Papa Shango again. He spit up some more black goo.
I don't understand that stuff. So, but I know they're trying to bring back Bray and all that with the Fiend and I don't know. It's just too corny for me. I like corny stuff. I'm a guy who enjoys corny things, but that was like, yeah.
Well, some advice for this week's Raw: when you see Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon come on television, hit the fast forward button quickly.
But I enjoyed Braun Strowman yelling at Shane McMahon the week before, where he was like, "I'm coming for you." I thought that was a good segment because he was mad at Shane because Shane was like telling him to tag into the match or let Adam Pearce into the match. So,
but before we get to well, actually, I kind of agree with everything you guys are saying about Revolution. I actually thought it was a good show. Like 97.5% of the show was fantastic.
I wouldn't say it was a bad show. I enjoyed a lot of it. Just the ending was such a stinker. I mean,
well, like if you're going to do something, promise something really big, like I'm assuming maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I'm assuming you kind of like practice this kind of thing to make sure that
I don't know. You practice blowing stuff up.
Well,
I mean, I assume that they thought it was going to work.
Yeah, but that's why you practice it. That's why.
Yeah, but I don't think as many times you practice it, and then
just to make sure it looks good on camera.
Well, I'm sure they didn't expect that to happen the way it did. Is what I'm saying. I'm sure that something went wrong.
Jonathan Jackson accused me of being a cornet puppet in the chat room. I don't know what that was for. I mean, I put over the Darby Allin match and a lot of the other stuff. I'm sure Cornette wasn't putting that stuff over, was he?
Well, I'll say this about. I didn't listen to him. I also want to say that.
Come on here. Well, you have your show on in the background, Lexar. Turn it off.
He's watching TV.
Somebody's interfering with the.
I'm gonna slap you around.
Do you want to hear the weather report?
No,
we're good.
My local weather report.
Can't you just go to a webpage
here? We see your face. Lexar's face brings sunshine to my soul.
Yeah, it's like the weather. If you want the weather, you can just like load up the weather page real quick, and it's like there's the weather. It's like you used to have to watch the news for that.
All right, go on, Stevie.
So, given that I gotta admit, I'm not a fan of the barbed wire exploding death match, whatever the hell that thing is.
I'm good with it.
Had this been the Attitude Era, I might say it was a great match, fantastic. But on the whole, like I might sound like Jim Cornette here and say I didn't like
97.5% great, but then you're saying the match wasn't good.
No, 97.5% of the show was really good, but even I will sound like Jim Cornette and say I'm not a fan of death matches.
I like them.
I like them personally. I don't think they should be the main event of the show, even though I know it's hard to set up all that crap. But
I think it should be the main event. If you're having something that's like where it's a death match, it should be like an important part of the show, especially if it's for the title.
Oh, I could see it definitely in the middle, or maybe one of the show.
You couldn't have Kenny Omega, the champ, versus Moxley in the middle of the show.
No, but it just doesn't seem very prestigious for a champion to be like, hey, I'm in this barbed wire exploding match.
This is why they're calling you the Cornette puppet.
Well, that's fine if that's how they feel. I could see Cornette saying that as well. So, but that is the way I feel.
Would say that, but then if you go back in time, like Dusty Rhodes and Funk and stuff did that.
Well, yeah, but I'm just being honest with everybody here on the show. That is my feelings.
I like it.
I don't hate it. I mean, I'm fine watching it.
I like a mixture of stuff on the show. I don't want to just see all 5-star, classic wrestling. I like a mixture of stuff. You get tag matches, some death match, some high-flying stuff.
Well, I think the part of it is like we hear all this stuff about Kenny Omega and that he has these spectacular matches in Japan. Yeah, he's doing a lot of these death match matches.
But it fits in with Moxley, because Moxley's the death match guy.
Yeah, I know it fits in with him.
It's kind of like when Ric Flair was champ, he would have to wrestle the style to prove you are the best. You have to work the style of the guy you're wrestling.
Mm-hmm. But I would like to see some of these matches that we're hearing that he had in Japan. But
he does have those quite often. I mean, there's just these like couple with Moxley. Not like that's all the matches he does.
He hasn't had one like yet that's been like an Okada match in AEW.
He's been feuding with Moxley since he's been champ.
Exactly. I would like to see him be feuded with somebody who he could show one of these matches,
We can't have it all at once. He does one feud with this guy, and then he'll do a feud with somebody else.
Well, I know, but they've done this several times. I mean, I know they'll eventually get out of it, and he'll move on to something else. But by then, they'll probably want him to drop the belt.
No, I don't think so. But we'll see. First time ever today, I found AEW guys in the store.
Oh, really? Did you buy them all?
Yeah, they only had 2. They had Rio and was it one of the young bucks, either Nick or Matt Jackson?
I'm going to say it was Nick.
All right, it was one of us. I got them. I was like,
Well, how much were they retail? Because I know they marked
$20. They're pretty expensive.
So they're $20 a piece. Okay, but I know people mark them up pretty high.
Themselves are expensive. Some of those WWE guys are like $30, even just in Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking on Amazon for Matt Riddle, and like somebody was asking like $90 for him, and I was like, "What the hell? $90 for Matt Riddle?"
And I was really excited. I got Roddy Piper and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat WWE Masters, the Masters of the WWE Universe.
Ensure wants Omega to feud with main eventer Kaz. This is what Vince Rudo says in the chat room. I'm not saying Kaz should be the main event with Kenny Omega, but who knows? I think he could be built up. At the time they didn't have all these big stars. Like
we're building up Scorpio Sky now. I actually like Scorpio Skies.
Yeah, see, they're trying to build him up. But Kaz is an older dude, so they're doing something with the SoCal Uncensored, where like if they lose or something, they're just going to quit or something like that. I don't know what that's all about.
Gogo said this was no comparison to the Onita matches. See, I personally think those matches, like I watched them back in the day, but honestly, I thought they stink. Because it was like these older like guys that couldn't move and just like tore each other apart. These guys are much more athletic and can move around a lot better. I mean, if you just want the guys ripping each other apart, I guess. But I like the more athletic match combined with the violent spots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought they worked the match very well.
So some of the stuff that they're presenting on Raw.
Hey, who's that guy? He sounds like an intelligent man.
Yeah, I thought he sounded like some hillbilly.
Sounds like somebody who could really kick some ass to me.
My mom looked up the greatest people from West Virginia the other day, and she's like, "Tell Intra that I forget who they were, but there were like some cool people from West Virginia."
Like Don Knotts.
Don, I said that. I said, "Bet Don Knotts." She, how did you know? I was like, "Because he's like the most famous guy in West Virginia. They have like golden idols of him, like him and Mothman."
Hell yeah!
Those are athletes from West Virginia.
A lot of athletes. Randy Moss, yeah, that's actually the town that I live in that he played college football for. So I've seen him like back in the day when I was like at the Kroger, I think. And they had a box of cereal called the Magic Moss Crunch. That was like it was like his own cereal boxes that they sold around here. So
that's pretty sweet.
I should have.
I have my own cereal box now.
I know. I've seen you get advertising it. So hell yeah.
All right. Anything else there, Stevie? Steven Boutelaire.
Now, Lexar, I called you out. I'm sorry, Steven. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to hear this calling out Lexar.
I called Lexar out earlier in the show because in the chat room, he was saying the Boneyard match was better than the Darby Allin Sting match. So I'll give you your chance to respond. So you feel the Boneyard match was better?
Yes. It had more drama, more intrigue, more cinematic.
Now, he is the cinematic match connoisseur of the show, so we have to hear
more
him
cinematic.
More cinematic than Darby Allin. Now, I didn't see the pay-per-view, but I see like...
Well, how the hell do you know? You can't say it was better if you didn't even see it.
Did you watch the Darby Allin match?
I saw like somebody.
You didn't see it, so you can't say it's better or worse than something else you saw.
Cut him off.
On YouTube, they put up.
You can't have an opinion on something you didn't see.
But it was cut off in the middle of it. Somebody streamed
How
it.
the hell?
But it was.
Put it up.
You didn't even see it.
That is not a fair criticism, like
no.
You cannot come on and say something's better than something if you didn't watch both things in their entirety.
Just call me an WWE mark.
Yeah, Lexar.
Yeah.
Lexar, I've watched both matches all the way through, the Boneyard match and the Darby Allin Sting versus Team Taz match. And I will agree with Incher, the AEW that cinematic match was better. Yes, I did like Undertaker. On his bike, that closing image with the thing going up and him beating everybody up. Did he freeze? Did he freeze?
No. Oh no, it's just Lexar. He's doing these crazy faces. He's like, "Ah."
Why are you disagreeing with me? I'm doing what interest says when
it doesn't mean shit if you didn't even see it.
When somebody
it's a better match, I'd say look for a full, complete match. Darby Allin and Sting versus Team Taz. You'll see it. It was a better match overall. I would agree with Incher on this one.
Come on now, Lexar. You have to be fair, and you have to watch the match in its entirety, and then you can make a proper assessment of which match you like better. Well, and if you still felt that the Boneyard was better, that's fine.
Then you have a valid, yeah, but you don't even have a valid opinion if you're just basing on you just don't like.
Well, blame the person that streamed the pay-per-view and got cut off.
No, that's stupidity. That's like if someone posted like 2 minutes of The Godfather, and it's like, and they have the color all distorted. Like, well, clearly Godfather is a terrible movie because this guy uploaded a bad copy of it.
All right, Lexar. Stop doing my angry face. You're scaring me.
Is that what you usually do? Like make that face like, there you go.
Is that the face? I don't do that face. I don't ever go. "Arrgh."
That's what he does when he's talking to me, doesn't he, Lexar?
Yeah, usually.
Oh, it's you never earn that response. You're always such an angel whenever you're speaking to me.
Lexa just wrote intro's hot. Jackie, I think it's time to draw some art.
There you go. Boom.
After all, Jack said that my face brings sunshine to his soul.
Sunshine. Here, look at these nastios.
Nastio.
Dill
Thick
pickle
pickle.
flavor frosted cereal with brain mallows. It's the official Nasty Neil cereal.
I'm actually intrigued. I want a box.
There you go. Hell yeah.
I'll put it right next to my Dunkin' Donuts cereal box.
There you go. Dunkin' Blownuts.
I could see Lexar taking a bite, and then he makes that face that he was making earlier, and just like, that was good.
Look at this. Oh, this is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, Rowdy Piper.
Very exciting.
So does his chest flip over and so show
It doesn't
damage?
actually, but they make it look like it would.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
excellent. That was one of my favorite He-Mans, the one with the chest that would flip over.
Yeah, the
showing
battle
damage.
armor.
Yeah.
All right. What else is going on? My buddies, my pals, my amigos, my compadres.
All right, so WWE has now banned a thing that's been in the wrestling business seemingly forever, but it's been going on for years and years and years. And now because of smarky fans, the internet, social media, and even some wrestlers knowing it off, WWE has now allegedly banned thigh slapping.
Yeah, they're fining the wrestlers if they slap their thighs. Now, I do think it's overused.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's a problem with doing it. I think there's a problem with doing it obviously.
Yeah. Like you should always be able to like hide it from the camera
Right.
and not
I
let
mean,
people see it.
The
It's a magic trick.
yeah, HBK's Sweet Chin music wouldn't have been the same without it.
Yeah.
But you didn't see him doing it all the time.
Mm-mm.
Bobby Eaton, beautiful Bobby, one of the greatest punches in wrestling, and he was slapping his chest. You could actually kind of see him doing it, but it looked awesome, and not everyone else is doing it. There's a lot of I've seen a lot of guys do it in AEW well, and then there's guys like the dinosaur guy who you can just see him do it on continuously his whole match, and I think it stinks. So to me, it shouldn't be like fined and banned. They should just tell guys, if you're gonna do this, don't be so obvious with it.
And protect it some. It doesn't need to be done so much, you know.
It is something that does add to the match, but just not continuous.
Yeah.
That goes for everything, though. I mean, you shouldn't do any move continuous. You shouldn't do 1,000 flips or dives in a match.
Like if we just started off the show and I just said big blue cage and Jack was like, fuck you, you idiot. It's not a fence. And then we just started going back and forth constantly.
Right.
That wouldn't be good.
That would be a pretty good show, actually. But
well, maybe we'll start next week like that.
But if we did it every week, then then Lexor would start finding us. The big blue cage fine.
I actually don't care about what cage you like, but I do enjoy the debate.
Boy, intro would be broke if there was a BBC fine.
What?
Big blue cage.
The big blue cage? Yeah, that would be bad.
Got it. Come on, that was cute. That was a good one.
I did put a video up on my YouTube channel where
I thought you were gonna say I did put up a BBC video on my OnlyFans.
well, I was it was on my YouTube channel of me playing Retromania wrestling, and I've seen photos of the big blue cage in that wrestling game.
Really?
So I want to get to that point so I could see the glorious big blue cage. But everybody can check out my first time playing the game on my YouTube channel if you wish. So I did get to, I was using Johnny Retro, who's Johnny Nitro or whatever you want to call him. And I got, or John Morrison, and I got to a Tommy Dreamer part, and he challenged me for a steel cage match. And I was like, I wonder if it's the big blue cage or just the fence. And it turned out to be just the fence.
You can see Intra lose his virginity on video
of playing the Retromania.
I have beard wax in my beard today.
Yeah.
Actually looks pretty good, I think. It's holding well.
You need to like start to curl it up at the end.
Kind of just like the point.
Just the point.
Just gold enough so it could be like the anvil. Just pull that.
What about you, Song Man? Any beard wax?
Not so much, but it's going
yours is
down
pretty
right
straight.
now. We're getting more on this.
It seems like yours is
I'm
pretty
just like the
straight.
anvil,
Like it seems
almost.
like it's pretty form for.
But I have very curly hair.
Yeah, like I don't think your hair is as curly as what Jones's is. So I'll give you that, Song Man.
Yeah, but I appreciate that for that.
Yeah, I don't make up songs for you. I'm like, Song Man, his hair is straight. He is great.
Good. Lex already like the Head.
It's pretty good.
There you go.
That's a ringing endorsement.
Cold. I'm in my basement.
With Christmas decorations up.
No, this is St. Patrick's Day. See? It's got little shamrocks.
I see now.
Kiss me, and I'm Irish.
Yeah, Intra ain't got shit up. I've got corned beef up in the slow cooker cooking overnight.
What is it tomorrow?
No, but we're having some this week.
When is St. Patrick's Day?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Okay.
Jesus. Intra's the fake Irishman.
I'm not fake. 100% real.
You just don't know anything about Ireland. It's St. Patty's Day. You can drink yourself some green beer.
Well, if you know so much, what's the capital of Ireland?
St. Patrick. Dublin.
Yeah, I think that's right.
They eat a lot of potatoes.
I like potatoes.
Yeah, I'll give you a potato.
Come give it to me. Don't sing it. Just bring it. As a matter of fact, Jack, I think it would only be appropriate that one of these days we do have a match. And I'm going to pick the stipulation for this match, Jack. I know that we are on the video with the Zoom chats here now on. I'm going to take the thing that you don't want to lose the most. Jack, I am challenging you to a hair versus hair match.
Pubes?
Pubes? No, a hair versus hair match, you dummy. I'm going to take your luscious locks of hair.
I think if we have a hair versus hair match, we should bring in the Headyverse. So it's like, not only is it for my these locks, these long flowing locks and Intra's, glorious head of hair, to make it real. So the whole Headyverse is involved. We each have a group. And so if I lose, the whole Jack's pack gets their head shaved. If Intra loses, all the power goats, boom. Shaving the head.
Oh my goodness, he's upping the stakes here.
Well, who's in each group?
We'll have to figure it out. We gotta get Shaheen in there.
Shaheen and you know, other members.
Skull Von Crush.
Yeah.
Steve Austin.
And
Tully
yeah.
Savalas.
Big Bully Busick.
Big Bully Busick. That's a good one. Ahmed Johnson. Cue ball, 8-ball. I mean,
yeah. Supreme.
Horner Horror Business. Jack just wants to create an army of skinheads. Don't be fooled. Golga said, I was thinking pubes as well.
What's with our listeners here?
I don't know, a bunch of perverts.
I seen another Galgo 13 on a web feed there, Galgo 13. I was wondering if it was you or not.
Was that on Grindr?
No, it was on YouTube. No, I'm not watching Galgo 13 on Grindr. So I was curious if it was him. Well, we could talk about that later, Galgo. I just don't know how to contact him. He doesn't have a Facebook or anything.
Got email.
I guess I could contact him on the PlayStation. So he says, "Ain't no telling."
Hell yeah! Booyah! I actually been playing an app on my phone. And sure, does that count as a game?
I guess it does. I mean, it is a game.
Cribbage.
Are you learning how to play it, or did you?
I already know how to play.
You already knew how to play it.
Yeah, I've learned cribbage. But no, I do have cribbage on here. But I started playing Plants for Zombie 2. What the hell is this?
What's this, Lexar? Wisconsin.
Peter
Just pay attention to the guy with the half beard. Like, let's say Jack has to shave half a beard.
He's got half a beard.
Yeah.
And Incher has to grow half a beard?
No, Jack has to shave half of his if he loses with Incher.
Incher's got to wipe off his fake eyebrows?
Yeah, half of it.
I'm not. We're not talking about any of that, and I'm not denying or confirming any of that.
Man, what do you think about that song, man? You think about getting that hairdo, shaving half?
I would say it is about time for that one. I'm trying to look myself like Incha, I would say right now. That's the way I would want it.
Incher is a handsome devil.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You think you're gonna shave the head, song man?
Well, that won't be then. If I mind turn to Jackie Jones, I would say no for that one.
How's the song man doing? What's going on?
Well, I gotta say, like, when we were going into Raw and everything with AEW, I didn't actually see the show, but I was really surprised about Christian and everything. But I don't say this was getting a big pop for this one because I'm kind of curious what tomorrow's going to be like with him.
I am too. I'm curious what's going on in the show because they'll have to do some kind of explanation on the death match, on the bomb.
And I just even realized this is the third member that Randy Orton's taken out. And this is the time when they moved to AEW. When it was first Matt Hardy, then it was Big Show, and now all of a sudden this has been Christian. So this is kind of curious. What's going to happen next? Another one that gets turned on. I
don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. I mean, maybe Bray Wyatt's going to show up in AEW.
The Fiend?
The Fiend. He'll just show up because Randy Orton burned him to death.
Is that how Shaq disappeared out of the back of the ambulance? The Fiend teleported him?
It's possible. Yeah, I forgot about that whole thing. He did disappear.
Yeah, I think they forgot about it too.
Yeah. Oh, and I, by the way, I have a little thing I wanted to bring up, by the way. Like, I wanted to get Steven's take on this because I'm going to curious. I'm definitely not wanting to see this in April, but do you think they're going to go back to 2000, Steven, when they're going to get this Big Show once again? All right, Big Show's out of here. Are they going to start this rivalry once again? Big Show. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? We're going to have Shane McMahon face the new Big Show with Braun Strowman, the way this is going.
I was going to bring that up. Actually, I might even posted that on Facebook. I know I mentioned that they're turning and they didn't waste any time doing it, but they're turning Braun Strowman into the new Big Show. That was one of the worst. We could get into Monday Night Raw, but that was just big. They made Braun Strowman just look like an idiot, like a total stupid idiot, and that was one of the worst Shane McMahon segments.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? I have no clue.
Well, I have a question about this because how many times has Vince ruined him? Like, I don't think it did anything when he was holding the belt last year, but they've been going up and down with him over these past couple of years.
Yeah, Braun's been used very poorly. So
yeah, he was super over at one point, like a lot of people, and a lot of times the company gets behind a guy, gets over to the fans, and then they totally destroy the.
And that's the big thing I don't understand because we already know for years, almost like 20 years, Vince loves the big guys, but I don't know what they have with him all of a sudden.
He must piss people off or something because like they start to push him and then they take it away, and like he's even like. I mean, I know mental illness is a terrible thing, but he's even said like he's contemplated suicide once before. And you would think they would kind of lighten up on the guy, but they don't. They keep pushing him and then they take it away. It's like, gosh, what are they trying to do here? I don't want to see anything bad happen, but it doesn't seem like they're being very mentally beneficial to him, But Jack, wasn't Shaq Shazam? Like maybe that was a Shazam reference.
Will you steal? Oh, it could be.
Yeah, like he's a genie and he just disappeared.
Genie in a bottle, gotta rub me the right way.
Now you're singing Christina Aguilera. Hey, there we go.
I seen that photo last week. And she will not ever do that because I'm his boy, and like Jack says, my face brings joy to his soul.
See?
So, and going back to the Strowman thing, the only push that WWE made him have is last year when he became WWE Universal Champion in place of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
At last year's WrestleMania.
But they've kind of pushed him, building him up here and there, just he hasn't always gotten the belt. But
remember the time that he became tag team champion with a little kid?
This guy had a much better cinematic match than Old Man Undertaker in the Boneyard. Boom!
The Icon Sting. AEW.
My money mark sent me this. Try tell Matt, who won $100,000 earlier tonight.
Yep.
Tonight?
$100,000 on a slot machine.
You really shouldn't bring this up when Lexar is on the line. You really want to
$100,000 on a
look at him. Look at him. He's his brain's steaming right now. He's like, I need to go to the casino. I'm not spending enough.
$100,000. How does he do it?
It's a 3-line $25 machine, but still $100,000.
Well, if he played on $25 slot machine, maybe
$75 a spin, but still $100,000.
Oh
$75 a spin?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez, I couldn't. Like, I lose 75 at the casino, I'm done. Like one spin. Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I played a Wheel of Fortune.
Money Matt. Forget Matt Hardy. That's the real big money Matt.
Sounds like it.
A couple of weeks ago, I played a Wheel of Fortune slot and only got paid.
This was Wheel of Fortune, actually.
$15. Yeah. Oh, please. No Wheel of
It's the exact machine you were playing, Lexa.
No, there's different, like, when I went to the casino, there's like different Wheel of Fortune slot machines that have different.
I heard that Pat Sajak himself came out and handed him the check after he won all that money.
Oh, shit.
No, we'll get back to the
Vanna came out and gave him a handy.
Is Vanna White still considered hot? I remember back in the day, like everyone.
For her age, she's not bad looking. I mean, honestly, what is she, like 70? For Christ's sake?
Would you
It's like, get over here, Grandma.
Would you Lexar her? Lexar? Would you Lexar Vanna White?
Maybe.
Would you Lexar Pat Sajak?
No.
The answer is no to that. Yeah.
I will not Lexar old game show hosts.
I can see Pat Sajak just right now. He's like, "Oh, where are you from? You're from? Oh my goodness, what is going on behind me?" He's trying to have his little conversations with the contestants. Lexar just comes up.
Well, it
Time
says
to get
here,
Lexard.
Vanna White is 64 years of age.
64 years of age.
Yep.
It's only 19 years older than me.
There you go.
And 9
Yeah.
years older than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, if you're not married, would you bang Vanna White?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for
Vanna
64,
White.
she doesn't look too bad. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
Well, I mean, I think she looks better than not too bad. It's not like
okay, she looks good for
Yeah.
64. Well, she looks good. I mean,
yeah.
say it like that. Before we get canceled or something.
Right. 64 like a Nintendo.
Damn.
Those
I
ins-
got one over here.
I got one down here.
What?
You want
What
to
are you
play my joystick down here?
No.
Lexar like that.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
See?
No.
Yeah. My boy. All right. He's over here eating.
Hungry.
Kind of hungry myself.
Maybe Steven has a box of Nastios that we didn't know.
There you
of.
go.
Got some Pringles, eh?
Ah.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we get to these questions or anything else you want to bring up before I get to them?
Yes, I want to note that this Sunday is March 14th. And the significance of that date is the 18th anniversary of WrestleMania 20. So it's the event that changed lives the world over. It changed my life. I was there in attendance. It was my very first WWE pay-per-view, first live event experience. Yeah, it was amazing, top to bottom. And you know who the main event was?
Yeah. Fighting to survive. Bump it up. Bump it up.
So I implore everybody in the Headyverse, on the Zoom, in the chat room, on the Facebook group, everywhere, Twitter, the Gram, watch WrestleMania 20 this Sunday on the WWE Network before it moves to Peacock.
That's always my favorite from start to finish. I always say too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the main event of WrestleMania 20?
We had Chris Benoit win the title from Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Chris Benoit.
Well, they'll probably edit that out if it's going to be on the network.
And that's the thing I forgot to mention, by the way. Like, this isn't going to be blown up with the library until August. We found out, but I'm just curious what WWE is going to be editing out more of, as we know. Is Benoit's going to be all out of there after everything they've edited out in the network? I'm just wondering how many things they're going to edit out when it gets moved to Peacock.
I don't know. They might want to edit out some more stuff, but that's a pretty big undertaking every time they got to dip into that library and try to like erase somebody. So better be pretty important that they get rid of them. But I could see him like getting rid of like a Dick Murdoch or somebody who was like known to be like an extreme racist.
Best cinematic match.
Kind of looks like Sting's like Jack with like when he had it back there, like right about there. Yeah, kind of looks like your face is Sting. Like you got a Sting mask on. Oh my goodness, there's another one.
That looks like Jack when he's kind of wasted.
What? I'm straight edge.
Yeah, right.
I am. I 2 years this month. I haven't had anything to drink 2 years this month.
You tell stories of you hanging out with bars.
Yeah,
getting in
but
trouble with
2
women.
years this month, I alcohol free.
2 years.
No, it's true. 100% true.
Oh, look at that glaring eye. He doesn't
Nothing to
believe you.
drink. No booze 2 years ago this month. My last drink was at Boston Underground Film Festival 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-COVID.
Yep, it was right before COVID. Well, it was a year before COVID, but it was also the last day I drank was also the first time I took edibles. It was the same night. I drank and had edibles there in true.
Yep.
All right. You ready?
Bring the
I probably have
questions.
a picture of it somewhere. Try to find it. Do you want to see? I have a picture of me you drinking my last alcohol and taking my first edible. I don't know where it is exactly, but I'll try to find it quick.
Alrighty. Vic Chavone says, way to go, Jack. Galgo13 says in the chat room, back to the Vanna White stuff. He said, I found out last year that Vanna did a nude scene in a movie before she got famous on Wheel of Fortune. Never seen the movie, though.
That's me drinking my last alcoholic beverage while also on my first edible.
Look how happy you are.
Looks like a lost soul to me. Lost soul.
I haven't had any edibles for a long time, though, either, because I can't get up to Boston currently to get them. All right. So not on anything right now.
That's the way to be.
All right. Here we go. I got some herbal tea in here. I don't even have coffee tonight, Intra. This is caffeine-free herbal tea. All right, here. Dobbs Dean Maya wants to know, have you watched Meghan interview?
Oh, the Meghan Markle interview? No. I've heard excerpts from
Really?
it.
I assume Lexar was probably all on this, but I don't know.
No, I don't watch it, but I did watch The View and all these talk shows, and they did a recap of the Meghan Markle interview, saying it's like it embarrassed the British people and all that stuff.
Dobbs loved it, he said.
They show Piers Morgan leaving his own talk show set in Britain, leaving his desk.
Does he just like the royal family that much that he's gonna like quit his job?
Yeah, he quit.
What does that prove to them, though? Like,
I know.
how
It's
the hell
like
they care.
he must have had something else lined up, and he just was like, I'm leaving because I'm offended, and he's gonna go and do like a hotline or something. Like,
I'll be honest. One thing I could never give a shit about is the royal family. I mean, who gives a fuck?
I
You
did.
probably watched the royal wedding, Jack.
Nope.
I took the tour of Kensington. Was it Diana's house, wherever she lived in England?
Oh, really?
I toured that when I was there.
Like a candle in the wind. Never
And
know.
I went to that memorial, that fountain, that what was it, like a
if another blonde, like beautiful blonde woman dies, will he whip that song out and make it about them?
No, he said that he was going to retire it after that one. So, well, he was personal friends with Princess
Why didn't he
Diana.
write her a new song then? Instead of just reusing no
He's too torn up. He had Bernie Taupin write him a new one.
Kind of cheesy.
He doesn't write the lyrics anyways. Bernie Taupin writes his lyrics.
Yeah, but that kind of cheese.
Yeah, he wanted to pay her tribute. It was one of his friends.
Yeah, but you can't just like rip your own music off.
Don't be talking about Hercules, Jack. Don't be talking about Hercules.
What happened here? I went to share a picture and then it went away.
I don't know.
What happened here?
I don't know how to zoom it.
Got a picture here for the mighty one.
Oh, please. I guess that's why they erased it, because it's probably offensive.
Did Al Woob get banned or something? Because his pictures aren't loading now all of a sudden in the Facebook.
Who, Owl?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm here doing the show. I haven't banned him. It might be just a glitch. I don't know.
Oh, well.
He hasn't offended me enough to go ban him yet. So
I was trying to show some pictures that he posted here of Lexar, but I can't load them for some reason. We'll try again a little bit later. Let's see here.
It's probably offensive.
No. Oh, I didn't think so. Owl, do you think Jason Mitten's head or penis exploded when John Silver and Maki Ito met up during Being the Elite? I would think probably the head of his penis exploded.
So is Jason Mitten big on Maki Ito as well?
I don't think so.
Oh.
He don't like girls. He just likes, the stocky guys.
The short, stocky guys. What are you telling me here, Jack?
No girls allowed. All right. So
it was a pretty big sausage fest when we were all at the convention together.
Yeah. You like that big sausage, don't you?
No. But I'm just putting things together here.
You like a plump sausage?
I like sausage patties and I like sausage links.
Painful.
Huh?
It sounds painful.
We're talking breakfast food.
Oh, yeah. You're
right. Okay.
Inch is probably a fan of Jimmy Dean's.
Jimmy Dean sausage. There we go.
Like that.
Like
it's the
twins.
Same picture, yeah.
I think my face is the actual face that Incha does when he's legit angry.
I think so.
Hmm.
You're gonna put that on a t-shirt. Go on, sorry.
Which face are you gonna put on a t-shirt? The angry face or the?
But I think we should do like the many faces of Lexar, and it'll be like a square of all the faces.
Yeah, like a Zoom meeting,
right. But it's just all you, yeah.
Or a Thunderdome screen.
Yeah, it's all you with the CBS Sports logo in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Aries posted this on Twitter. I need help, Twitter. My goldfish might be sick. His fish bowl is really dirty. I never clean it of the toxins or chemicals that accumulate in there. So do I use logic, clean the fish bowl of toxins, or to vaccinate the fish with toxins? So he's basically saying we should clean the whole entire world, I guess. It's kind of makes no sense whatsoever. Steven,
it sounds like a madman or something. I mean, like, I don't know what he expects people to do, really. Like,
just clean the entire world.
You can't just go around with like a Lysol bottle and just be like cleaning everything.
Clean the whole air.
Yeah.
Stephen Butler, do you slap your thigh when you super kick someone?
Yes.
I think that's insult injury.
Bam. I mean, what else would you slap, though? I mean,
my cock. I just say I don't need to use my hands. I just kind of move and like the whole.
Oh, baloney. That's a bunch of baloney.
So it's like hanging like this, Lexar. And I just kind of move, and then the whole big schlong slaps against my inner thigh and goes, whoop, slap. So you don't need to use the hand. See what I'm saying? Lexar gets it. I'm gonna do
More
that.
ways than one.
So I take my schlong. That would you be pissed if I just walked up and started dick slapping you?
Me or Incher?
Yeah,
He's
anybody.
talking to you, Lexa. He's talking to you.
I'll cock slap him back. So
Oh, it's like a bad.
Oh my gosh, we got a sword
a
fight
duel.
going on.
Yeah.
with the penis.
Stephen, oh, we just did that one. Well, have you ever done that intro? Slapped your thigh while you're cocked? I don't know what's going on. Oh, thoughts on Apollo Crews being a Nigerian prince?
Okay, all right. I was going to text you this, but they had Apollo Crews out on SmackDown with a spear. In this day and age,
Alba Simba.
do you want to have Apollo
Fair enough,
Crews out on
in like the late
SmackDown?
70s and 80s being a literal spear. Oh my!
He had a spear with him. The man had a spear. Good God, what are they thinking with this?
Tony Atlas, Alba Simba.
So bad.
I know, but
Oh yeah, I'm good.
that was the 80s or 90s,
and it was bad then.
Yeah.
But like
it was bad then too, yeah.
yeah.
They
Now, yeah.
like an honest to God spear, yeah. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. That's just there it is.
The guy on the right looks like very uncomfortable.
He should be.
This guy here, doesn't he? Just like what am I doing?
He should be. I wouldn't want to be able to
Like there's like little kids watching.
Terrible.
He's also the shortest guy here. Shouldn't his buddies be small?
Yeah, couldn't they find somebody like shorter than him or something?
I guess they're trying.
And he speaks with an accent now.
He's all of a sudden.
Yes.
He's just all of a sudden a completely new nationality.
Yes, pretty much. This is the real Apollo Crews. Yeah. I'm just without words. I cannot believe that they would do this nowadays. It's just like, do they not have any sense? Do they not see how the world is changing?
Why would you even want to do it to begin with?
I'm sure he doesn't want to do it.
I know. I mean, be like, why does the company like this? This is really topical today.
This has got to be a Vince McMahon brainstorm session. I mean, like him or Bruce Mitchell.
Bruce
Pritchard. I'm sorry, not Mitchell.
Bruce Mitchell just be attacking. He's like, we have to know. Tell us that all these dead people have COVID.
But like, yeah, this is just this is a character they should not be trying to.
No, it sounds bad. Is he trying to scam people like out of money?
Well, he's been feuding with Big E, and like he's been kind of doing some dirty things against Big E because Big E wouldn't like give him a rematch for the belt. But it's bad.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh my God, the man has a spear. No, you don't do this, WWE. No.
Jonathan Jackson says that's good shit, pal.
I guess the WWE found out his indie name, Yuha Nation, and
Uha Nation. Yeah, I saw him live as Uha Nation. He actually was going to be on the show once. It didn't happen because I think he ended up signing with WWE, is why he canceled. But I was he was really impressive live. Robert Budzinski, is it okay to blame the dog when you fart? I fart a lot since I had my bowels reconnected, and I eat a lot of A lot of veggies. I ate a lot of Brussels sprouts.
I would say it's all right because I mean the dog can get away with a lot, you know.
I don't have a dog though. So are people it's like, man, where the hell is this dog you're always talking about?
Yeah, that makes it hard.
Sleeping in the other room.
I mean, a dog can just take a crap on the floor and start eating it, and then like the very next day he's licking you on your face, and you're like, oh, that's a good little puppy.
Yeah, and all that would be everything there would not be acceptable from a person. Like if Lexar dropped trow, squatted and took a shit on your floor, you'd be like, what the fuck? You're fucking crazy. And then if he started eating it, you're like, what the oh my god, I'm calling the cops. And then if on top of all that he just started licking you,
it's all inappropriate for a human, but a dog, perfectly normal.
So do you ever wish, like, man, I wish I was a dog. I could lick my balls. I could shit on the floor. I could eat it, and I could go lick some guy in the face.
No.
It's a dog's life.
Oh, I'm Jackie Jones. Let me show you how I blow my ass. It's because I've had yucky food from the past, and it's because I blow gas, and it smells worse than grass.
But the dog did it.
But it was the dog.
Snoop Dogg. And I got something to say. I wish Cody Rhodes would stop using the Snoop Dogg mix. I prefer his ring music untouched.
What if I bottled my farts and sent them out to the Headyverse? You wouldn't want that, Lexar? You get like a bottle in the mail and you open it up, or you could just keep it forever.
Probably will pass out from it.
Maybe you love it.
I'd probably just get in my car, drive to Sandwich, Mass, open your door, and just throw it into your house and then leave. I'd grenade you with your own stink.
I see it. You're just open, just inhale it.
No.
I'm gonna try this out. Can you do that? Can you bottle a fart?
I'm not a fart bottler. What do I look like?
I can probably find a tutorial on YouTube.
You normally can find a tutorial for anything on YouTube.
Fart bottling. Tyler Stevens. When is the next DJ Curly Bear record coming out? It's a good question.
We'd have to ask DJ Curly Bear's management about that.
Yeah, you gotta get him on that. He might do a follow-up to Wet Ass Pussy. That's all the rage.
It's a big song.
Vic Schiavone. Can anyone on the panel come up with a scenario where the Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss, The Fiend storyline ends well? Because I can't. They just come out and say, we're all joking.
Maybe if they bring out The Fiend and then Hulk Hogan comes out and he says, you know something, brother? I've had enough of this stuff, brother. And then he just beats them both up.
That would work.
Yeah.
I'm a real American fighting for the rights of every man.
You know something, brother? Sergeant Slaughter, he once burned me, brother, and it isn't cool. And you, Randy Orton, you're always beating up on the legends. Well, try to beat this legend, brother. Ooh.
Does your mom let you watch The Fiend stuff, Lexar?
Of course.
All right.
She probably doesn't like care at all because she doesn't like wrestling. So, but she like questions why I still watch though.
I questioned myself. That's why I stopped watching.
Even as a kid, when I watch wrestling, my mom sometimes like questioned and says, "Hey, why is he watching this?"
Songman, is your mom a wrestling fan?
She is.
Oh, she is cool. Who's her favorite?
I would say mostly Jericho.
Oh, cool. She has good taste.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Does your wife watch wrestling, Steven?
I actually have shown her some of the women's matches back during the Ronda Rousey push. She was starting to get into that because that was her favorite. And then I told her that Ronda was going away to have a baby, and then she stopped watching. So
That's too bad. I missed Ronda actually. I liked Ronda too. Al is Incher upset that AEW spelled his name wrong on the pay-per-view?
Yeah, a little bit. Because, I mean, Incher's not that hard to spell. And they put some other jabron's name out there. So
If someone contacts you, do you prefer they call you OIB, 1 inch biceps, Incher, Power Goat? How do you want them to refer to you as?
probably the man who tells you what to do, the boss baby.
Wouldn't it be like, please, sir, the man who tells me what to do if they were like contacting you?
Mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
King of all the marks works well for him too. So.
King of all the marks.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell your mom about the show, Lexar, well, how do you refer to Incher?
I actually never tell my mom that I watch or listen to, but my mom does.
That's a good idea, Lexar.
I would tell her. I'd give her a synopsis.
But one time she was like listening to the show back pre back pre Zoom days, and she listened to Incher's laugh, and she was wondering what who's laughing like that. So
she loved it.
Yeah, she loves. She's a huge fan of Incher's laugh.
Oh,
so.
Excellent.
Incher just found his own Lana there, or whatever.
So I remember one.
Laugh a lot.
It was a throwback episode some years ago, and Jack says woman should never be president of anything, and Incher just burst out laughing.
Never said such a thing.
Yes, you did. You said back when Dixie Carter or Rock had Carter to Carter.
That's like some interesting.
And then.
Why are you passing it on me? I was the one who laughed at it. I was thinking, how barbaric this man's thinking.
It was clearly being facetious, and Incher laughed at Jack's joking again.
You were being serious, actually.
That's what it was. In interest of us not being canceled.
High five.
Vic Chavone says, I like Incher's idea about the Hulk Hogan coming in and then interrupting the whole
I
Randy
think
Orton, Bray
Juju
Wyatt
would make
feud.
an excellent president.
There you go. She's female. Jujubee for president.
President of the Lexar fan club. Tyler Stevens, what about Raven? I'm a fan. Or was back in the day. I don't know about now, but he was cool back in the day.
Yeah.
Tyler Stevens, who's the most honest wrestler? He says everyone knows as a fact of life, not just a fact of man, but a fact of God's world, that Jackie Jones is the most honest man in podcasting. But who is the most honest in-ring wrestler?
Oh, there's somebody that was like, I'm going to say
Storm.
I'm going to say Lanny Poffo because he'll lie about stuff, whatever it doesn't even benefit him.
Well, he's not most honest then.
Well, he tells like everything though, like everything. He makes it impossible to even defend him. It's like he won't shut the hell up.
I can suck my own penis.
I mean, that's pretty honest if he fesses up to that. I mean,
I lied to my dying parents and my deceased brother.
Like he fessed up to that, though. You know, like he even said that he did.
Why can't there be something for me? That's true. You got a point. Tyler Stevens, what are the best wrestling books?
Ones that I've read, I would say.
I thought that was just the end of it. The ones I've read.
I like Chris Jericho's first one.
I do too.
I liked.
I love the first Mick Foley book.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one. The first one.
William Regal's. His was pretty good.
I never read that one. The Dynamite Kid one I like.
Dynamite, yeah. Gary Hart. Gary Hart's one is really good.
Yeah. I like most of the ones I've read.
Mm-hmm.
China ones wasn't good. The Rocks one wasn't particularly good. They tried to cash in after Mick Foley's was real big, and they put out a few out there.
A few stinkers.
Yeah. That I think were just ghost written, kind of made up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Stevens, what is the best board game? I'm a big fan of board games. I mean, I always love Monopoly.
Monopoly is a pretty big classic. Clue I like really well. Chess.
Oh yeah, I love chess. I was a 6th grade chess club champion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where it is exactly, but I have a Rich Uncle Moneybags bank.
Oh,
On this bookshelf somewhere. I'm not sure where. This bookshelf goes a lot higher, and I move stuff around sometimes because I can't fit everything on it. In
the frame.
It's on here somewhere.
Excellent.
But yeah, those are all great. I was always liked Risk.
Life was all right.
Yeah,
like Life? It's kind of
Life is a game. Life is very fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry's good.
Sorry's good. Life is one that's kind of forgotten. I don't really think probably no one plays board games. That's not true. I think board games are making a comeback because I've seen even a lot of stores as like board games, more like adult like this,
collectible ones.
And I have Big Trouble in Little China and stuff. But yeah, because I even noticed they sell the Shining board game at Walmart. I was going to pick that up, and Universal Monsters board game.
Mm-hmm.
I like backgammon actually. There's not too many board games I don't like. There's an old one's probably not as well known, but Masterpiece was really fun. You sold paintings, and you didn't know how much they were worth, and some could be forgeries, so then they weren't worth anything. It was very fun.
I like the one with the phone and the door, where you're like you get like a good date. And, what was that one called?
Glory Hole?
No, not Glory Hole. I forget the name of it.
A phone and a date?
Like, sometimes you get the hot dude, and then you're like, that's the good game. What was that game? I forget the name of it.
I think you're just going on gay, like.
No, I'm trying to the girls' game. Like, I can't remember the name of it. Like, and there was like a phone in the center of it, and all that.
You're just going on gay dates.
You didn't say Dungeons and Dragons, though, Jack.
That's not a board game. It's a role-playing game.
It's not a board game.
It's a dice and pencil game. Dice and pencil RPG.
Did they have like board game
versions
spin-offs or something?
And stuff. What?
They had like spin-offs or something, didn't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, the actual Dungeons and Dragons is an RPG. It's not a board game. But then they had games that were, fantasy like that, like Dungeon, Hero Quest. Hero Quest is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a Games Workshop game, not TSR. TSR and Dungeon. Talisman.
Is Operation a board game?
Yeah,
I could see that one being kind of annoying.
That's fun.
Though.
That's a good one.
Like the loud noise and all that. I could see people hating that one.
Yeah,
I have had people refuse to play that one.
Hungry Hippos is the name of the game.
Oh yeah.
I play board games, but nobody wants to play with me. Actually, it's not true, but no one, you can't really get together with anybody to play it at the moment.
Not right now, no.
Al Ulb, do you think Tazo is who do you think Tazo is talking about? Who the fuck knows? I mean, that guy's just fucking off his rocker. But
something going on.
We got a picture here. I know someone who has an ass so big they do this every time they shit. It's like a picture of a shitty toilet.
Yeah.
With like a cross on it. I don't know. Some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. I don't really understand the taking pictures of shitty toilets. Call me weird, Incher.
You're a little strange, buddy. That's
You ever take a
American
picture of-
pastime right there.
You ever take a picture of a used toilet,
No.
Lexar?
Nope.
I saw on Facebook recently there used to be a website like ratemypoop.com or something.
Mm-hmm.
People would send in pictures of their poop.
Yeah, whatever. You know, you're like the top poster.
No,
in
no,
there.
I would tell you if I've been to this, but no, I've never been to that. That does not interest me. I'm going on a limb here, but pictures of feces does not do it for me.
Maybe it's a fetish site.
Could be. Is that a fetish of yours? Insure. Owl, how sad do you think Ethan Page got when he realized no one in the audience knew who he was? Yeah, honestly, if it was like a big audience, again, there probably would have been a lot of people who popped for him.
Yeah. He would have got.
Because I mean, they did pop big for Orange Cassidy, and he wasn't even on national television. The first time I remember when he came out, I had no idea who he was, but people were into it. I'm just checking here. We also have questions on Twitter and email. We'll get to them in a minute. Mark Heller. By the way, follow us on Twitter at iWhite Wrestling. Subscribe here on YouTube. Follow us, hit the little bell icon. Follow us on Instagram, iWhite Wrestling. Join the group on Facebook. Do all of it.
Do it all.
We just did one. Mark Heller. Will we get a Gilbert versus Moxley Sparkler death match?
It's possible. We've seen how destructive those sparklers can be.
It probably would be if you like shoved them in your eyeball.
They do get hot for sure. Yeah.
Who do you think the hottest member of the Hittyverse is, Lexar?
Aside from me?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a given, yeah.
He looks in the mirror, he's like, "You hot bitch."
I could see him doing the dance, goodbye horses.
Mm-hmm.
You ever check yourself out in the mirror and think, I'd Lexar that?
I won't Lexar myself.
That would be a hard pop to pull off. Nikhil Callahan. What would be the main event at Double or Nothing? That's an interesting question, actually. Because I think Moxie's going to be taking time off, so I don't think it'll be him. Who's the next? I mean, could be Christian versus Kenny Omega.
It's possible. I think
maybe Adam Page.
Yeah, that could happen.
I would put someone in there that's going to have a really, like you said, now let's see the Kenny Omega who has the 6-star matches.
Yeah. So it could be Adam Page because they have the groundwork there, but they're doing that thing with the Dark Order still. So I could see him mixing that in with it though.
Could be a Japanese guy.
Yeah, true. I mean, if they are in fact working with New Japan, maybe they could bring Okada in. You never know.
I wouldn't. A lot of people are comparing now AEW to TNA, but I don't think it's a real. I know they do have a lot of, not like a ton, but they have some of the older guys. But the big difference is if you look at the champions, it's all guys that weren't in WWE. It's Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Darby Allin. So you can't really say they're putting these guys over all their established guys.
No.
But I wouldn't mind if Christian proves himself if you lead to a Christian Kenny match.
Yeah. But if they just thrusted him into that already,
the thing is that their pay-per-views are every 3 or 4 months, so you have time to build to it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe not right this next one, but eventually I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
But for established guys, I think Yeah, I think Page, maybe Adam Hangman Page. I don't know. I don't think they'll do Moxley again. Right now. Oh, I mean, maybe Eddie Kingston after that last one.
Yeah.
I think you're continuing then in the hardcore division, which I'm fine with, but I do like the idea of now showcasing him as like a different side of him in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
2, well, Jarek, I do think you'll probably at least get some Eddie Kingston, Kenny Omega matches on TV though.
I would just like to see him showcase himself with a match that kind of shuts up a lot of the critics, even though they'll probably never shut up.
Oh, some of it. There's particular ones that won't, no matter what he would do.
Yeah. So, but I would like to have some backup, like, hey, yeah, this is what this guy's about, and then it would definitely kind of like change him over a little bit.
I'm really looking forward to the Young Bucks match with Phoenix and Pac.
Mm-hmm,
I think that could really be something awesome.
Yeah.
Any of those guys in singles too versus Kenny would be good.
That's what Vince Rudo's saying. It's Omega and Pac next. So, but
I'd be for that.
Yeah.
But it's Pac's in the tag right now. But I match wise, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Will Jericho be removed from the Inner Circle tomorrow in Dynamite? I think they kind of hinted that. I don't think quite yet.
Yeah, it's possible. You never know.
I still don't care. The Big Show signed for AEW, and I believe it's a waste of time and money. What are your thoughts? I agree at the moment, but I will also agree with Incher that he does look like he's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give him that. Doesn't look like he hates life anymore.
Yeah, looks like he's got a smile. He found his smile in AEW.
Thoughts on the rumor that NXT are bringing NXT women's tag titles? I think anytime you start adding more titles, it's usually not good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the tag belts, the women's tag belts on WWE. They're really not needed.
Yeah, like it's their women's roster is pretty limited right now. I mean, they're down Lacey, they're down Becky Lynch.
It's usually just putting two random people together and they're the tag champs, and then they don't have any there's no tag division. It's just two other people are together and they feud.
Yeah, like they threw Sasha and Bianca Belair together, and they're like, go out there and have a match.
Yeah, and you spent all this time
with
her and Bailey.
Yeah.
Thoughts on potentially a 2-night NXT takeover before WrestleMania. So a 2-night takeover, then 2 or 3 nights of Mania. I saw they might do a 4-night Mania sometime. That's just too much. That's like 4 nights of wrestling.
Yeah, too much.
Lexa, I know you're just like the WWE fiend, but do you want to watch 4 nights back to back to back to back?
Nope.
Who will Chris go on, sir?
Well, I believe this year will be the final year of the 2-night Manias, because next year is like 1 night for Dallas and LA. 1 night.
It's weird that you would. In my mind, if you're back to real audiences, that's a better time to do 2 nights than the no crowd. Because if you do a 2-night Mania with a big audience, you could sell 2 arenas full of tickets.
Yeah, and plus WrestleMania is too long. WrestleMania from 2019, it was like 8 hours.
Yeah, no matter how good it is, you just get burnt out in that long.
Mm-hmm.
Who will Christian feud with first in AEW? That's an interesting question.
Jeez, hard to say at this point. Maybe Hangman Page. Maybe he sides with Matt Hardy and he wants to. But I mean, you'd be starting him out as a heel, which probably
I think he'll probably face a heel. Who's a heel that's not really doing anything right now? pretty guy, Pretty Paul,
Peter Avalon.
Avalon.
Yeah,
That's probably not
that's a guy, but he's not very well known. What about Hobbs? Will Hobbs? He ain't doing much of anything outside of just run-ins with Team Taz.
Yeah, it's possible. Thoughts on Sean Spears and FTR forming a 4 horseman type group with Tully and JJ? I'm good with
I like it. I didn't necessarily like that Arn kind of came out and acknowledged, like, because he's supposed to be feuding with Tully right now. You know?
I like the idea that he just comes out and kind of looks at him, but not kind of the idea of doing this because it shows like there's Legion, you know.
Yeah, like maybe if they teased it a little bit. Yeah, kind of like you said, just like look, but not, but like.
Is having. Oh, by the way, I really enjoyed seeing Tully in the ring. There was a spot he did that I loved. He was gonna do a hurricane. He was gonna like do a big dive.
Yeah,
and he teased it, and then he just stopped and
he did the slingshot on old Marco.
Pretty sweet, yeah. I don't know what the hell he was wearing though. He looked like I don't know what the hell he looked like.
He just didn't want to show the guns.
I know, but he's wearing some strange ass clothes.
He's like, you know what I want for this match? Some strange ass clothes. Get it done.
Is having 2 YouTube shows, a Dynamite, and eventually an extra hour on TV overkill? I think so.
Well, but we probably won't even watch the YouTube, you know? We'll probably just watch the
it's
show.
hard watching stuff on YouTube. Here we're doing a show on YouTube, but
like, I don't know. Like, I just don't think like, well, it's wrestling time. Let's get on YouTube and watch it.
No, I agree with you.
I don't know why. I mean, like, you would think it would be
we're probably too
natural
old
transition, you know?
Yeah. Probably the youngins, like Lexar, he doesn't care. He's like, it's on YouTube, that's fine.
I actually don't watch it. I actually don't watch Dark. I don't watch The Bump.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch none of those stuff.
The Bump? What the hell is that?
It's like a Wednesday morning show where they do interviews with superstars.
God, who the hell wants to watch that?
And recap Raw and SmackDown and preview NXT. So.
Good Lord. That sounds like death. That sounds like torture. Is AEW TNA 2.0? Nah, we just went with that. Nah. Why do people moan about both wrestling companies but still watch them? That I agree with this one. I moaned about WWE and I just stopped watching because I didn't enjoy it because I don't want to be a guy. I don't want any companies to go out of business. And I don't want to just come on here and trash a show. I don't understand watching something you really hate. Like, it's obvious, you know, Cornette just despises AEW with a passion. So why would you even watch it? I know he says, oh, it's because the fans want him to. But, like, if you just hated it so bad, why would you watch it? Why would you want someone's opinion on something?
He needs content for a show.
Personal hatred of it.
He needs content. That's all it comes down to, really.
Maybe you could talk about something else. There's lots of wrestling you could watch.
He knows where his bread is buttered.
He likes the Ring of Honor. He don't review it, does he?
He knows that people like hearing him bitch.
I know,
so
but
he bitches.
But if that's the only reason you talk about it, that's kind of stupid.
If it makes him money, gets his hits up.
I wouldn't watch something I hated.
Gets the hits up.
How about fans who do it? I know fans on there who've hated wrestling since the Crockett era. And I'm always like, what the hell? Why would you watch them for like 35 years that you hated? Wouldn't that to say you're insane?
There's got to be something about it that they do enjoy. I mean, they're just negative and they just don't want to admit, like, well, this part of
it gets on my nerves, though, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
If you just talk about your hatred of everything and you just continually watch it, like, there'd be something wrong with you mentally.
It's like I kind of get the mindset because it's like you're just holding out for like that moment where it's really good. Like
for 30 years,
and then you get that moment where it's really good, and then you're happy that you watched
for 30 years.
Yeah, for 30 years.
If you watch something hating it for 30 years,
Well, not actually hating it. I think though they watch a lot of the crappy stuff, but yet they do like
for
some
30
aspects.
years,
They get behind like their wrestler that they like.
they hated for 30 years. They hated the Attitude
Well,
Era.
I'm saying they don't
NWO.
hate everything.
They hated
Oh,
WWE,
it can't possibly.
wrestling. They hated it all since Nikita Koloff wrestled against Dusty Rhodes in 1980, and they just like still watching it.
They tune in and they like the Hurt Business or they like something. They just don't want to bring that.
Yeah, there's usually a period of time that they really liked a certain period of time.
Yeah, 1987 Crockett Cup. No, like I hate everything else.
Well, they would tune into AEW and they'd be like, "Hey, there's Tully Blanchard. He's wrestling."
No, they hate that too.
Why would they hate it if he's from the era that
they want to
love?
hate everything? There are people that will literally hate everything.
No, Jack, I've been watching wrestling now for almost 47 years. And there has been some wrestling that I really liked at the time, like AWA wrestling. I really liked it at the time when I was like 8-10 years old. I look at it now and it's the most boring stuff I've ever seen.
Almost like you're a gold.
Just keep watching it.
It's almost like you're a gold miner, like you're shifting through all the crap until you get to the good
But
stuff.
if you were shifted through crap for 35 years, you wouldn't still. Well, maybe
but you get some gold nuggets every now and then.
I'm gonna get a job or something.
Because you like wrestling, Jack. If you're 8 years old,
if you hated it for 30 years, you don't like wrestling.
You'll mine through all of that crap.
If you've
30
hated
years,
for
40 years,
and you continually watch it, you're fucked in the head. There's
maybe
if
we're wrestling fans, of course we're fucked in the head.
You're hooked for the times that are good, though.
30
years.
Good. If you hated it for 30 years without liking anything,
how many years?
You wouldn't be watching it.
I didn't hear you. How many years was it again?
30 years.
Oh, 30
No,
years.
Jack. I was trying to tell you, you'll like one period. You'll really like it.
Yeah, but if you hated it for 30 years, you gotta stop watching. Trying to save your sanity out there. Go do something else. There's other things to do.
I'll say it's not 30 years. Like I said, I
know you liked stuff last week. You liked stuff on this pay-per-view, so you haven't hated it for 30 years. That would be a lie. But I see people on the internet. I see people with my own eyes. I read them. I see them typing, and they hate everything. For 30 years, they hate the Attitude Era. They hate the NWO. They hate the PG era. They hate the Cena era. They hate the Edge era. They hate the new stuff with a passion. Then just stop watching it. If you've hated something for decades, just quit and move on.
Maybe we should equip you with a pair of scissors where you could go to their house and just cut their cable, you can save them from themselves. Because they're down this bad road, like they're on a heroin trip.
Lexar's with me. If you just sit there and hate it, and you were watching like hours a week for 30 years, they're totally nuts.
Yeah, there's something mental about you if you hate something for 30 years, like you said. It's like if you watch the NFL for 75 years.
And you just hate
everything about that. And you hate the USFL and the XFL and the app.
Yeah, and you just kept watching it.
Yeah, and you still watch it and you hated it and you go to sports radio talk and complain about every host that's on there that you hate. Every new signing, every new rule, every new football design, the uniforms, the logos on the helmets. Why bother watching football if you're gonna hate on it?
You didn't hate it for a little bit of time. You hated it for 30 years.
30 years. Good Lord.
Or maybe they don't have.
It's like the 30-year road of hatred.
Maybe they don't have other interest in life.
And they're
but they had to watch wrestling.
I mean, come on. There's other things you could try. I don't know,
drinking
maybe they should watch. They should take a page out of your book. Watch The View. There's other things out there. There's 1,000 channels. There's hundreds of streaming websites. You don't even have to watch something. You could go build a beach house. You could like build a castle, a sand castle. You collect stamps. You could crochet. You could take up fencing.
Fencing, yeah.
Gardening. You can start cooking. There's things you can do. If you hate anything for 30 years, stop doing it.
Yeah, but as you said, if you watch it in the old days in the Crocker era, there's nothing else to watch.
Right, but now there's other stuff.
Yeah, maybe you could watch Coach. Or
there you go, Incher.
I actually watched an episode of Coach over the weekend. There's a channel devoted to like all these like old sitcoms that Incher used to watch. Coach and not
the Incher channel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
and I actually did watch an episode of Coach, and I enjoyed it. It's entertaining.
There you go.
I'll be like, is your mom around to be watching some Coach with me? I'll laugh for her.
What?
Yeah.
You hitting on Lexar's mom?
I'll be like, I'll give her the laugh. Would you be weirded out if I started making out with your mom in front of you, Lexar?
No, actually, like proud if my mom like found a man.
Oh, really?
Like, like one of her best friends.
You'd be down with it?
Yeah, like one.
What if I was trying to get to second base?
Daddy, that would be cool.
One of my mom's best friends has been looking for a man for the last 20 years.
Are you trying to set up Incher with your mom's friend?
Want a man, want a man, want a man, want a mighty good man.
I think my mom's friend will be interested in Incher more than
how old
my
is
mom's
she?
interested in him. Well, she's 70.
That's
70. I think that works. Incher likes older women.
70,
okay, then that 73-year-old cougar will be the one for Incher.
Boom. This is making a love connection here on the show.
There you
She's
go.
probably more hotter than Vanna White at her age.
There you go. Boom.
No,
just picture Gloria Estefan, only like more older. So
odd, Incher.
I'm all about it.
Look, he's showing the guns.
Yeah.
He's trying to lure her in.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my mom that this is the man for your best friend.
Yeah, Incher is gonna get him, the old lady.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's got a friend for you, Jack.
I'm good.
No. You gotta help me out. We got double dates here.
Oh,
you know?
you got double team Lexar's mom.
What? I said double dates. I never said double team Lexar's mom. That's you wishing. Jeez.
Well, maybe you could double date his mom and her friend.
I mean, we're going to have fun. We're going to go to the mall and do some laps around the mall. I mean, there'll be good times.
Mall walking.
Yeah.
Get up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Do we get in early because we're with people over 64?
Hopefully that'll work. That would be a bad time if they let our dates in and they won't let us in. Jeez.
All right, I got a question of my own.
Do
you think Pepe Le Pew is the cartoon equivalent of Joey Ryan?
I mean, honestly, I've always joked about this my whole existence. I mean, he clearly is very rapey. I mean, I don't think anyone's you can't really deny it. He's like groping the cat and he's all over. He's forced himself on him.
But he is a cat.
No, he's a skunk.
Oh yeah, he's a skunk.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, Pepe.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a good comparison.
Pepe Le Pew is just in love with a cat that like has a white stripe.
That doesn't reciprocate.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad example, Lexar. This is probably where you learned your Lexarn ways, watching Pepe Le Pew.
Lexar is
He's
the
very
one.
charming, though. He's a charming young skunk.
He's very
Yeah.
charming, but you shouldn't grope people, Incher.
What? I didn't grope nobody.
I'm saying, Pepe Le Pew. Ah,
Oh, mon chéri, I'll take you to the cash bar.
who will Sting feud with next in AEW? I think they'll continue this feud. I don't think it's over yet.
It's going to continue.
Are you excited for Shane versus Braun Strowman at WrestleMania? No.
I'm sure Braun's not excited for it either. Like,
Who would be?
Yeah.
Do you have Peacock? Yeah, I get it free on my cable.
I get it free as well because I have the same cable as Jack.
What's your favorite Jim Varney film? Mine is Treehouse Hostage.
Treehouse Hostage?
I've never heard of that one.
I don't know that one.
Intra's got to go check out the Intra channel because I think they show Code and Jim Varney films and Police Academy, Friday the 13th Part 3.
I think
Gilligan's
I
Island.
think Ernest Saves Halloween. What's it called? I think it's kind of underrated.
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
hell. I'm not being mean. I've actually never seen a movie with him. Was he in the
See? You're being just like Lexar here. You're making fun of the man's movies,
Maybe-
and
maybe
you've
he's a
never
great-
watched one.
I may have did he play Jed Clampett in the
Yeah.
okay,
The
so I have
Hillbillies,
seen
yeah.
that movie. That wasn't particularly good. The Beverly Hillbillies movie. I can't blame him for that. I mean, it's not a great movie. Most awkward place you have ever farted. In Intra's face.
No. Most awkward place I've ever.
Actually, last year or 2 years ago now in Buffalo, with this was right after my surgery, and I was farting everywhere. So it was and we shared me and Jason Minton shared a hotel room, and I just was the fart the whole time, and he kept saying, "You're disgusting! Oh my god!" And then we were in a 5 and Below store, and I left like a really bad one, but they're never loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved away, so and he just
Well,
goes, "Oh my god!"
there's nothing worse than being young and being carted off to church and sitting down on that hard wooden bench, and you're gassy, and they're slipping out, and it's reverberating through the whole church. That's the worst thing ever.
Man, that's been a running theme in your life. Hardwood under your ass.
Imagine like the priest is speaking, and
maybe if somebody put some hardwood on your ass, you would be a little bit more respectful. A nice paddling.
I said that in a
Jack.
respectful way.
No, you didn't. You started laughing like a maniac after you said it. How's that respectful?
Because it was so stupid, it made me laugh.
Jeez, here I am confessing to farting in church, and you're just like, oh.
You know what? I do have a serious question about that, Insure. How did that go over? Did it go over like a fart in church?
Like a fart in church?
So when people say
that's where that saying comes from.
From Insure. Insure's childhood. Did you ever fart in church, Lexar?
No, but I was going to ask, what if the priest is speaking, right?
It had to happen at one time.
He's doing his homily. He's doing his homily, but all you could hear is just fart.
Just intro.
Oh, how low do you think my farts are? It's not like
you said they were reverberating through the whole place.
Well, it would be loud. It'd be like
church was shaking.
I don't want to shake the church. I mean, the roof might lift up a little bit.
The stained glass is cracking.
That communion bread might melt.
There was hopefully it never led to a WV though.
No.
I bet it has.
No. Are you a fan of White Castle? I've only had it once.
I've had it a few times, and like I always want to go there because it's not available in my area. But like
Yeah, that's why I went to Chicago.
Probably if I had it in my area, I wouldn't even want to go to it. But just because
That's what
it's
happened
not
once the
available.
Chick-fil-A opened here. Then we went once, and I don't think we were going to.
So I like it when I eat it, but if it was readily accessible to me, I probably wouldn't eat it.
I'm
that
the same
much.
way. I like to eat places I can't eat around here.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm in Chicago, I get some. We go to some Chicago hot dog places. But if they were here, I probably never go to.
Now Popeyes, if I had a Popeyes near me, I would probably want to go to Popeyes every now and then. But
Get
like,
spinach. Oh,
yeah.
the chicken place.
The chicken place.
Robert Budzinski, have you ever left an upper decker?
No. How many times has he asked this thing? No.
Well, he wants to know since last week, I guess. If we left one.
No. Didn't happen this week.
Owl, does Jack have any products he would like to recommend to the Hittyverse? I forgot to bring him down here. But yeah, Man Sport sells some great protein powder. I have Free Loops and Blueberry Muffin, and every morning I have myself a protein shake. Got the protein powder, some almond milk, some a lot of leafy greens, half a frozen banana, and some frozen carrots. It keeps you energized, and also keeps you pretty full throughout the day. Get your protein, which is good for you. High protein, low carbs. Man Sport.
Bam.
Where is Juju and Swax? Juju B was here tonight. And I did talk to Swax on Twitter, on Skype. I logged into the old Skype. I asked him if he's still live. And he said, I'm alive, but not well. And he started talking, not logged out. I was like, oh. But he's alive.
Jeez. Yeah, that's how somebody is, and then they start telling you and you log out.
Yeah, but he was alive, so I knew he's good enough to type.
Yep. Lexar's shaking his head in disapproval.
Well, I'll log back in one of these days. Catch up.
No, it's because Juju P doesn't want to show up on the Zoom tonight.
No.
She will eventually. She'll work up to it, Lexar. And then the double date, Lexar, will be that your mom's friend and you and Juju B.
Be good times. I don't think Juju B will want to go to the mall and walk around, like do mall walking.
What do you think she wants to do? I think she'd probably like to go eat some candy or go to the malt shop.
Is there a malt shop anymore? Anywhere?
What?
Oh.
Are you crazy?
Like, where is one?
Down the street.
I've never been to one.
Malt shop.
The Dairy Queen.
There you go.
Dairy Queen's good.
Take Juju of the bees, the queen bee, to the Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Would Incher rather take a stink face from Rikishi or the hump from Viscera?
The hump from Viscera. Next question.
He's really excited about them. Are there any, this is Dobbs Dean Maya, are there any gay bars in the WV? And how's the gay community holding up in West Virginia?
Yeah, there's one that's been around since I was a kid that I knew about. So it's still going. It's probably the most famous one here. It's called the Stonewall. But I don't know of any others, but I'm sure there are some.
You ever been to a gay bar, Lexar?
Nope.
Why not? You a homophobe?
No, it's because I don't find anyone's any gay bars in my area. Although I did see a gay bar, and I think it's a gay strip club too in New Orleans. When I went there for WrestleMania and went down to Bourbon Street, just like toured Bourbon Street, just walked down the street, and I see like females yelling at these guys, muscled up guys in underwear.
Really?
Yeah.
Name look like this.
I think one of them did look like that.
That's me.
But
That's probably one of them
but
right
it's
now.
all in white. The mask is white. The
Oh,
vest is white. So
that's a
but
good
he's
look,
like-
don't you think?
yeah, but he looked
Mhm.
like he took steroids because he like all muscled up, and the girl's like yelling at him, like just like giving him dollar bills and throwing him those like necklaces, this New Orleans necklaces.
Did anyone ever do that pose besides Hogan? Like, did they ever?
I think he's the only one.
First start this going like this.
What does he call that? Like the bow and arrow or something?
Oh, it could be
Like he's pulling a bow.
yeah. I recently watched the first 4 Rockies, so I saw him.
Yeah.
All right. I've never actually been to a gay bar either. We were going to go, Annabelle and I, that picture. We were going to go to a place called the Ramrod. We ended up not going. Al, how did they clean up? I also live by Provincetown, which is honestly a huge gay lesbian community. It's where John Waters lives currently. Al, how did they clean up Clifford the big red dog shit? With a big pooper scooper.
Mm-hmm.
Dump truck. Forklift.
You'd have to have something, yeah.
Man,
A shovel.
did he eat his own poop and lick you? That'd be bad.
Yeah.
Was he named after a big red wiener? Because dogs have the big red dong.
Why do you think these things?
No, I mean, why did they call him the big red dog?
Good God.
Dobbs Dean Maya wants to know, do you like to pee on cock?
What? Do I like to pee on what?
On cock.
Yeah.
What kind of question is that?
Let's just spell pee as in like a pea, like you eat, like the peas you eat. So make a little sense.
Ed Dobbs is weird.
How big do you like tits? Kind of like a medium or on the smaller side, to be honest. Ginger likes them big as his head.
Big as my head.
Owl, what would introduce to someone who identified as super straight?
Super straight.
Yeah, something on the internet. People call themselves super straight. Like they're beyond. They're beyond. I think someone who's referring themselves as super straight has something to hide. They're trying to overcompensate.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, well, you're straight. I'm not just straight. I'm super straight. On Garabedian wants to know.
Hey,
Do I
that's
say your name
something.
right? Is it Garabedian?
Yep, that's fine.
What match would you book for Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton after getting set on fire, making his match even more higher of a level for WrestleMania hell after Bray got burned to hell? I don't know. What do you do after you do a burn in that? After you during like a Inferno match, where do you go from there?
I think you have a regular match, and the loser of the
Follow-up
match.
is just a match. 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
follow-up.
well, the stipulation is that the
Everything
loser.
that's like so reversed. Instead of the blow off match being this Inferno match, the blow up matches they just have a match.
Well, there's
With
a
the small
stipulation. The loser of the match will get dumped in this black goo that Orton is spitting
Black
out.
goo.
Yeah.
So they're saving
like
all
an
the black
acid.
goo that Randy Orton's spitting out?
Yeah,
I'm
the
saying
loser
they
of
have
the
an
match has
acid
to
match.
be spilled. Yeah,
How
all
about
that.
Acid bath match. So they have like a moat around the ring of acid and it's bubbling, and they got to throw them in there. And then they throw them in there. Then they just show like a skeleton popping out, going, ah! And then they're back the next week with a mask.
Yeah, they make it like a mimosa mayhem match.
Right, but it's acid. It's great. Owl, is Incher pissed that Lola Bunny doesn't have big tits anymore?
Lola Bunny. Who's that?
All right, so I'm going to be honest here. I don't really care one way or the other about most of these cartoon things, but I saw like grown men are pissed that the cartoon bunny in a kid's cartoon movie, Space Jam, the remake, doesn't have giant boobs and like showing her ass and stuff. That's really creepy. All kidding aside, like someone that's upset that they can't jack off to a kid's cartoon. I don't know. I think you got some issues if you're worried about that.
Yeah.
Rick Donaldson. With the network going to Peacock and they're not having all the retro content until August or later, how many people are going to get it beforehand, if all? Honestly, I don't think everything I've seen, the retro content is not a big. I know a lot of people who listen to the show and stuff watch it. Supposedly, they say they do, but from what I understand, it's not really watched. It's not highly watched, so I don't think it's a big issue, especially when it's $5 a month.
Nobody's gonna miss it.
Yeah, there will be people, but I mean, I don't think it's a big seller for the network, honestly. Was wondering because my wife and I were going to watch along where we went back and watched what happened each week in each organization and territory starting in 85 and made it 96. Now it seems we aren't going to be able to do that anymore. I mean, there's probably a few people like that, but I think in the grand scheme, it's not enough people to make a difference.
They're wasting time then because they could have watched that now with the network.
That's very true. They've got time now to keep watching it.
Yeah, and, until April. So they could do it right now. They could do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until April.
Exactly. Forget sleeping, just watch the network.
Speaking of, gentlemen.
Goodbye, Steven.
Gonna go watch the network.
No, I have to go to bed.
Songman's leaving too.
Witching hour approaches.
Just about.
Good night, my friends, my pals, my compadres.
Monthly too, in a bit. But
I
I cannot leave you hanging.
We're like that. Those friends that just won't leave the party.
I'm going on this is my second win. I'm going here. We're going to 5 a.m. me and Incher.
Oh, well, I gotta go too.
Why are people so disappointed that Brock or Punk didn't show up to AEW? I think it's people were just. They
built people up pretty high.
Punk. I just think I was expecting a huge name, and I don't think I'm wrong for that, or anyone else is wrong for that. I think they milked it up like it was going to be.
Maybe they're going to make a make good tomorrow night.
Boom! It's like when Negan debuted and he beat the guy's head with a baseball bat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's killing, the doofus.
Glenn.
Then he killed Asian Glenn too. Or
I was kind of curious, like, well, what did Big Show even mean by that when a Hall of Fame worthy? Like, they say he's a Hall of Famer, or they said a Hall of Fame worthy?
Worthy means like he's worthy to be in it, but
yeah,
which I guess he is.
Yeah, I was getting mixed up when they said what was going to be coming Sunday.
But I mean, Coco Beware, nothing against Coco Beware. Johnny Rods is in Hall of Fame. So really, I mean, what does that even mean, Hall of Fame worthy?
Yeah.
Could have been anybody, pretty much. Who are the most bitter wrestlers? People want to say Hitman, but I don't consider him bitter. I think people just ask him the same stuff all the time, and then they get pissed because he talks about it. But it's like, that's what the people ask him.
I want to say Billy Graham.
Yeah. That's a good one. Superstar Billy Graham. Yeah.
I was going to say Ken Patera.
Hannibal.
I did see him report that Christian was going to be the surprise, and he was correct. So,
but he is a better guy. I mean, he's always talking. He's very upset about like different people,
how things went. Yeah,
I could see being, especially when he had Hep C and stuff.
Billy Jack Haynes.
Yeah, well, he's just more nuts.
Yeah.
He's got that going for him.
I think Joey Ryan will eventually make it in this because He's kind of losing his stuff already. And I think as the years go on, it's going to be bad for him. Tyler Stevens, would you rather take a guitar shot by the Honky Tonk Man or Jeff Jarrett? I think the Honky Tonk.
I'd say Honky would probably protect you better.
Yeah.
And he has experience.
Tyler
More
Stevens.
experience.
Yeah. Tyler Stevens, when will the next roundtable and possible topics? I would like to do one. We're going to get some of the regular ones that want to do it. And the topics will be wrestling.
Wrestling
tonight. You going to be on a roundtable, XR?
I guess.
Tyler Stevens, where's Christian's Peeps? Al Wolb, do you think this law would pass in the WV? California Assembly Bill 1084 would ban boy-girl sections in stores. I don't know.
Who knows?
Does TNA still have laser engraved guitars?
Probably. I'm going to put my money on yes.
Man, I bet I won't say they're sold out, but I bet they have them in the back somewhere.
They're lying. They just don't want to turn loose of all those sweet, sweet laser engraved guitars.
Hoping they get Jarrett back someday and then they can start selling them again.
Mm-hmm.
Owl, the Acclaimed are light skinned, but they rap. So does Intra consider them real black men?
Sure, yeah.
John Barker, did Intra ever learn how to get in the ring?
No.
What is that from the old book, the old movie, the game, the podcast?
No, I think he's referring to my doppelganger. Because, like, didn't he try to get in the ring and fall over or something? The Richard Jewell guy.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure. And where was the legend Billy Gunn in the game?
The game that I was playing? I don't know. I was glad he wasn't there.
If Young Rock will last, will we ever get to the point where he talks about his first gay experiences? Could be.
Maybe
he'll be the first gay president. If Jack confessed his love to Intra right in front of Intra's parents and brother, what would their response be? They'd be happy that he found true love.
Yeah. That's exactly how they would react.
Does Intra agree with his boy Vince Russo?
What's he saying?
He's got a picture. Imagine living in a nation where Cardi B's wet ass pussy wins Song of the Year, yet the Cat in the Hat is deemed inappropriate content. That's not exactly true, though. I mean, technically, Cat in the Hat's fine.
Yeah, like it's some of his other books that like they've come after, isn't it?
Yeah, six books that no one really knows about.
Yeah.
I do think it's weird that people that they're saying they're really against any censorship, then are calling for something else to be censored. Dobbs Dean Maya, I felt so embarrassed watching that explosion. I was cringing. So my question is, what are some of your favorite wrestling moves?
I like the power bomb.
I like the power bomb as well, and I also like the choke slam.
DDT.
Boom! I like the DDT too. Who's the best DDT? For technique, I actually think Arn Anderson gave the best one, but it's hard for me to say anyone gives a better one than Jake the Snake because he really protected the move and made it famous.
I like The Rock. He gave a pretty good one.
He had a lot of nice snap to it. He's very similar to Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson, real nice snap in a lot of his. Spine Buster, another good move. But both The Rock done well by The Rock and Arn Anderson again. So basically, if Rock and Arn Anderson do the move well, it's cool. A good pile driver, but some people do a shitty pile driver. But if it's done well, I like the pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
And the double noggin knocker. No, I hate them. Well, Neil Jones ever drink poo-poo coffee? If you
How much would it
PayPal
take?
me $500, I'll drink it.
$500 to drink it?
$500.
Jeez.
$500.
Go ahead and let that shit rot on your shelf then.
Alub, are there bigger explosions when Intra takes a shit than there are at the end of the AEW pay-per-view?
Probably. Well, what we should do is get Matt to pony up the 500 to get you to drink it. So he's coming to some money, all right?
Yeah, he's won 100,000 today. He won like 40,000 twice, the other 20,000 third. Oh, he's fucking loaded.
You know, it's just dropping a hat for the man. You can just go win some more. Let's get him to drink this poop coffee.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We come on here, the sponsor of In Your Head, the man, Chi-Town Man.
I'll see ya. I have explosive diarrhea.
That would be a good night.
Good night.
Nah.
That would be a good match if they just had a bunch of intro. How about this match? So they've got four people sitting on the corners up on poles with their asses out. And if anyone gets thrown into the corner, they just shit on them. That's match. So you get thrown in the corner, like an Irish whip, and then the guy.
I get it.
This match.
No. I'm wondering what the hell's the matter with you.
What's the explosive diarrhea match? What if instead of that, then explosive diarrhea match was they give each person laxatives, and the first person to shit themselves in the ring loses?
I'm not saying it wouldn't be entertaining to watch, but I don't think
Back Petey Williams.
Oh, hey, could just be Papa Shango's voodoo coming out for explosive.
Wrong end, though. Would you prefer a great match with a botched ending or a botched match with a great ending? Interesting question. Probably the great match with the botched ending, but I do think you'd probably remember as time goes on the great ending over the botched.
That's true. I do think this is going to go down in wrestling lore, though. This whole wrestle crap thing, basically. Though.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it will definitely.
Yeah, this is up there. This is up there with Shockmaster, I would say.
Yeah, and especially, and it's a bigger profile thing too, being the main event.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was leading the main event.
So the Shockmaster, the Gobbledygooker, they have a new friend. The exploding barbed wire match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega.
Golgo says Ernest Goes to Hell is really underrated.
There's an Ernest Goes to Hell?
Man, that seems dark.
I didn't know there wasn't. I don't think that's a real movie. He's pissing down our back and telling us it's raining.
You think anyone's actually ever done that? They're just pissing.
Probably.
What's that? It's just raining out.
It's probably happening.
Maybe that's what the Freebirds are always doing. They just kept telling that dumb joke.
Mm-hmm.
Vic Schiavone says most bitter wrestler Ole Anderson. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a couple of more questions on Twitter and an email one, and then we'll.
All right, I'm out. There's all the questions I want.
See you later, Lexar.
Callahan, McKeel Callahan. I know it's you doing that.
No, it's Nigel Cody O Campion.
No, it's not Nikhil Callahan.
It's Nigel Cody O Campion. You're putting together some stables in a new territory, heel and babyface, each era's 1960s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You need a technician, a mechanic, a tag team, a brawler, a heat, shear magnet. Who do you pick? Holy shit. This is like a real, like, thought-provoking question. We should probably save that till another time we can think about it instead of the middle of the night. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to say John Cena.
Oh, damn. That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I feel bad not
I'd have to think about that one for a while.
Yeah. But thank you. That's a good question. And this is from the In Your Head Question Man. It says, greetings, my friends. I'm a longtime avid listener and want to participate in the live broadcast. For Incher, I've read that ex-cons can no longer climax from vaginal sex with women after prison stays due to all the anal rape, and that dry masturbation can recreate the feeling of anal rape. My query is, when Incher is masturbating with his dry palm, is it because he did time, or is he living out his anal rape fantasies?
Neither of the scenarios that he brought up. So.
That was not as good a question as the last one. Or not.
No.
Interesting, though, I guess. And then for Jack, do you still wear fedoras?
He lets you off easy and he gives me a question like that?
I thought they're both pretty interesting topical questions.
No, they're not.
No, I actually don't wear fedoras anymore. I stopped wearing them because everyone else started to wear them after I started. Then went to flat caps, and then they started to become a thing. So now I've actually been wearing military caps here, military watch caps, and I don't think they're a thing yet. So I'm wearing these. Also, my old hats are too big since I lost weight. They go over my ears, which is very strange. I did not expect that. So there you go. That's all the questions.
Excellent. Well, that last one was a great one. So
that's a great one to end.
Mm-hmm. It's like, let's make Incher mad before he leaves the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, alrighty. I had fun. Did you have fun, Jack?
I did have fun, thank you.
Yeah. So basically what we've learned, it's a shame that AEW had an exploding cage match that didn't have a big explosion at the end.
Exactly.
So, oh well. So, Jack, same In Your Head channel, same In Your Head time next week.
Right. Exactly. Next week. There may be an interview popping up soon with the filmmakers of Luchadores, but I think we have to do it early in the morning. So it's probably just with me because they're in Berlin, Germany.
Oh, I see.
It's an 8-hour difference.
Oh.
I tried to get them on this live show, but it's way too late. It's like, so it would be like 5 a.m. for them. So, but anyway, it'll probably pop up on the YouTube. It won't be live. I don't think it'll just be popping up, but it'll be cool. So we'll check that out.
Excellent.
All right. I had a good time, Inchman. Inch Daddy. I like the old school shirt, rocking the old school shirt. You're looking good, looking healthy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I joked about being medicated, but you're looking good, man.
Thank you.
Glad to see you looking good and feeling good.
Appreciate it. You too. You as well.
Thank you. We'll see everyone next week. It's good to see everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Nighty night.